they've moved in what formation? They moved, yeah, okay. I figured. Give us 1 second, Bryce. We're off. Love it. Love to hear that. Want to make sure I have the umps in the right place. Lost up for Rona. Joseph Caraco. 1 win shy of tying for second. The Orleans Firebirds to game number 1 of the doubleheader at Stony Brook Field. 4-3 over the Brewster Whitecaps, and now 30 minutes later, the Firebirds look to make it a doubleheader sweep in Brewster, Massachusetts, as Orleans in third place in the East Division, 19, 15, and 3. The Brewster Whitecaps in the cellar of the East, 16, 20, and 1, with all 5 teams in the East Division jockeying for the 4 playoff spots. The Orleans Firebirds in third place, 4 points ahead of the Harwich Mariners, 2 points back of second of the YD Red Sox. Firebirds, a slightly different lineup for game 2. After taking the first one 4-3, it goes as follows. Jacob Hurtubise, the center fielder, leads things off. Zach Kokoska will play right and hit second. Max Sharani plays left and hits third. Trevor Niscara, the first baseman, bats cleanup. Julio Marcano bats fifth and plays second. The shortstop Tanner Murray hits sixth. Tom Keegan, the DH, bats seventh. David Avita in there to catch. He'll hit eighth. And Josh Zamora gets the nod at third. He'll round out the order against Cam Tringali and the Brewster Whitecaps. Right-hander from South Carolina. His 7th start on the summer. He's 1-3 with a 3.46 ERA. Tringali at 6'4", 220 pounds, stares in for the sign from the catcher Justin Vogt. Right-hander set at the belt. Roxon fires home. First pitch. Fastball taken low and inside for ball 1, and we are underway at 5:07 p.m. Jacob Hurtubise, the leadoff man from Army. 0 for 4 in that first game, but boy, did he hit the ball hard. 1-0. Fastball taken up and away. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Hurtubise's father in attendance today at Stony Brook Field. Cheering him on the last week on Cape Cod. He'll be here the next 4 or 5 days to watch his son play. Hurtubise batting from the left side. Here's the 2-0. Fastball upstairs. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Firebirds scored 4 runs on 6 hits in that first game. They did leave 8 runners on base. Brewster, their offense, came on just 1 swing of the bat. That was in the first inning on a 3-run homer by TJ Collette. 3 out. Fastball right down the chute. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. The umpire shifting 1 base over each. Ronaldo Cockrum calling balls and strikes. Joe Lasperona at first and Joseph Caraco at third. Right-hander Tringali set. Here's the 3-1 home. Fastball dots the outside corner. Hurtubise got ready to run down to first on a walk, but instead the count runs full.
And with his speed, he would have been down there halfway down the line.
So Hurtubise trying to lead this ball game off and get on for the Orleans Firebirds. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball taken up and away, ball 4. So Jacob Hurtubise works a leadoff walk, and let's see if the speedster gets things in motion. So that will bring up Zach Kokoska, the right fielder from Kansas State, who got the first game off, shy of coming in as a pinch hitter in the 6th. He went 0 for 1 in his lone plate appearance. But Kokoska making his 27th start of this summer. Batting from the left side. His first 2 hitters in this Orleans lineup will swing left-handed. Only 1 other left-handed swinger, if you will, in this lineup. The rest of the way, it's a switch hitter, Trevor Niscara, with the righty Tringali on the bump. Tringali working out of the stretch. Runner on first. He'll check on Hurtubise, who dives headlong back in. The Patriot League career record holder in stolen bases. 5 for 5 in stolen base attempts on the Cape so far. Continues to inch closer towards that second base bag. First baseman Mason Dodd holding him on. Here's the first pitch home. Fastball right down Broadway for strike 1. Let's give you the defensive alignment for the Brewster Whitecaps. The outfield from left to right, Jesse Franklin, Duke Ellis, and Tyler Gentry. The infield, Tyler Hardman at third, Gage Workman, the shortstop, Brett Auerbach at second, Mason Dodd at first, and Justin Vogt, the battery mate, to Cam Tringali. Right-hander from South Carolina winds and fires 0-1. Fastball backs up. Kokoska off the dish. It's 1-1. Firebirds wearing the red uniforms for Game 2 as well. White lettering across the chest. For the Brewster Whitecaps, it's their home navy blue kits with teal lettering across the chest, white pants. Tringali sporting the stirrups, 6'4" right-hander. Winds and fires 1-1. Breaking ball sent off the end of the bat. Past Tringali, back up the box. Workman bare hands throws to first, not in time. Just a cue shot off the bat of Zach Kokoska into no man's land behind the pitcher's mound. And the Birds have the first two base runners on.
And Zach Kokoska running to the first base umpire down there, and Joe Lisperana, almost like Kokoska got hit by a linebacker. Has a giggle about on the first base bag with Ryan Erickson.
So the Firebirds have their first two base runners on. And a chance for Orleans to strike first. Firebirds went down in the first game 3-0 after the first inning. But the Birds scored 4 unanswered runs to pick up the 4-3 win. It's now Max Triani, the left fielder from Bentley, digs in for his first turn at the plate. Tringali set. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball drops in over the heart of the plate for strike one. Triani, a quiet day so far, 0 for 2. It's part of a mini slump that he's going through for really the first time this summer. Max still hitting .331, which ranks in the top 10 on the Cape. Tringali set the 0-1. Fastball runs inside. It's 1-1 strike. Kokoska aboard at first. Hurtubise off of second. And the man that has dazzled everyone so far this summer, batting from the right side. 6'1", 215-pound Pittsburgh, New York native. Back in. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball, Trani's out in front of. It's 1-2. No score in the top of the first in the second game of a doubleheader at Stony Brook Field. Orleans took the first showdown 4-3. Firebirds now lead the season series 3-1 over Brewster, so they've secured at least a tie against their East Division foe just down the road. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Trani gets a piece off the end of the bat, and we'll do it again. We've seen a more refined approach from Triani the second half of this summer, especially with 2 strikes. Chokes up on the bat, just like he's doing now, sporting the red, black, and white batting gloves. Resting the gray bat on his right shoulder. The 1-2. Fastball cut on a miss, strike 3. Hard hitter from Tringali blown past Triani, and there's one away. So now that will bring up Trevin Esquera, the first baseman from Loyola Marymount. And Esquera went 1 for 3 in game 1 of the doubleheader. And his bat has started to come on as of late. Switch hitting rising senior for the Lions. Digs in from the left side with the right-hander Tringali working from the third base side of the rubber. South Carolina Gamecock set on the mound, checks on the runner at second. Hurtubise dancing off the bag, first pitch show. Fastball ripped out and missed for strike 1.
And we've seen Hurtubise steal third base earlier this year. That's why Gage Workman, the shortstop, makes sure to play close to the bag at Hurtubise, and Tringali mix up the looks as well.
Kokoska aboard at first, Hurtubise off of second. One away in the top of the first at Stony Brook Field. Scare's average now up to 200, 0-1. Breaking ball flutters off the dish. It's 1-1 strike. Got off to a great start as an Orleans Firebird. 2 hits in his first 2 plate appearances. Special young man who hit .322 this past spring for LMU. With 16 long balls and 60 RBIs. He's got a chance to drive in the first run in the second game of the doubleheader. 1-1. Breaking ball taken off the plate. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. So Esquera bumps up to the cleanup spot in game 2 after hitting in the 7-hole. 1 for 3. And Kelly Nicholson, who posts his lineups every morning before the game, only posted 1 today. Rare to see Kelly only post 1 and not both. And Spoke to him in between games. He said, I had two lineups prepared for game two. If we won, I'm going with this starting nine. If we lost, I'm going with this one. They won. He pulls out the one that had a W in the top right corner and put it up on the wall.
Well, that's why I said it's always a little bit less pressure for the team that wins the first game.
And Golly set at the belt. The 2-1 home. Fastball tails outside. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Tringali struggling with command just a touch in the first inning. Has issued 12 walks and 26 in the third this summer. Only had 20 walks and 66 and 2/3 this past spring at South Carolina. Columbia, South Carolina native comes set on the bump. Takes a deep breath. Hardebees continues to shuffle off the second base bag. 3-1. Fastball check swing. All right, they're going to say it just went past the bat of Escari. He'll trot down to first. So it looked like it hit something before it got to the backstop, but Escari just drops the bat and walks to first. So second walk of the inning for the Orleans Firebirds, and they've got the bases full with only 1 out.
Again, big spot here for the Firebirds, just trying to break out. Just what the Whitecaps did last game with a 3-run first inning. Again, if the Firebirds can scratch across 2 runs here and just give themselves a little bit of comfort room for the rest of this ball game with the pitching that we have seen by the Birds.
So now Julio Marcano will dig in for the first time this afternoon. Bases loaded, 1 out in the top of the first, and Marcano, a Brewster Whitecap killer. Righty on righty matchup. Here's the first pitch. Fastball tails in low for ball 1. Marcano, a 5-game hit streak entering tonight, and again, that dates back to June 11th. Now, granted, didn't play for a month in between that stretch. Wasn't even on Cape Cod. But still, this kid has had a hot bat in his first 6 games as an Orleans Firebird, batting .429 with 1 home run and 3 RBIs.
So maybe the longest hit streak from the day-wise, but not the game-wise.
And that home run for Marcano came here at Stony Brook Field against the Brewster Whitecaps. That game back on June 12th. Second game of the season.
Remember like it was yesterday.
That ended up a 5-3 Orleans win, sparked by Marcano and Rob Emery. 1-0. Fastball above the letters. It's 2 balls and no strikes. So Tringali struggling with command in this first inning. Has already issued 2 free passes and now behind Marcano, 2 balls and no strikes. The A-Sun second team selection from NJIT shuffles the black batting gloves and digs back in. Open stance from the left side, waving the bat over the right shoulder. 2-0. Fastball ripped out and missed. It's 2-1. Marcano's quite the story. Not only is it on his second go-around on Cape Cod, the first came earlier this summer, but was born in Venezuela. It's where both of his parents are from and attended college. Moved to Texas around 8. Him and his twin brother and his parents. 2-1. Fastball over the heart of the plate. It's 2-2. Him and his fraternal twin brother, David, who's 5 minutes older than Julio. Now, despite them being fraternal, they look identical. And they both act quite the same as well. Both majoring in mechanical engineering at NJIT. Both starring for the NJIT Highlanders as well. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball. Marcano got a piece off the end of the bat. Hit right back into him, but he was still in the batter's box, so it's 2-2. Now they get that mechanical engineering background from their father, who's a mechanical engineer for BP. His mother, not bad herself. Human resource manager for a startup golf company. Plenty of smart cookies in the Marcano family. Bases loaded with 1 away in the top of the first, and Julio Marcano, the youngest member of his family, trying to give the Orleans Firebirds a lead. Tringali's set, working out of the stretch. Here's the 2-2. Fastball smacked back to the screen, and we'll do it again.
Well, you mentioned the engineering background. I know you remember this. Andre Lipsius out of Tennessee. Played for Harwich last year. I believe he was a nuclear engineering major. That's tough.
Now, my favorite major on the Orleans Firebirds, without a doubt, is Zach Daniels. Therapeutic recreation. Quote unquote, according to Tennessee, it prepares students for employment in management and leadership positions with agencies that deliver health care services. 2-2. Breaking ball downstairs. Count runs full.
You can learn about new things like that. I didn't hear about that. Just like when I went to school with public, it was like public service policy management or something like that.
Bases full of Birds, one away in the top of the first. Second game of the doubleheader between the Firebirds and the Whitecaps. Julio Marcano steps back in. Here's the 3-2. Fastball taken low, ball 4. Third walk of the inning for Cam Tringali. He works in a Firebirds run as Jacob Hurtubise trots home. It's 1-0 Orleans in the top of the first inning.
And it's really been a lot of the Firebirds as well. They've been taking a lot of close pitches. Tringali hasn't really been missing badly. It's just missing out of the zone, which isn't bad if you're Tringali, but not leaving any pitches in the zone. But the Firebirds hitters very disciplined at the plate, taking close pitches, and it results in a run here in the first inning.
So now Tanner Murray, shortstop from UC Davis, with a prime opportunity. Bases loaded, only one away in the top of the first inning. Murray, despite going 0 for 3 in that first game, squared up a couple of sharp baseballs. Hit a liner right at the shortstop, Cam Locklear, in that third inning to lead off the frame. Then flew out to deep right in the sixth. So Marcano aboard at first after the RBI walk. Cascara off at second. And Zach Kokoska now 90 feet away. Whitecaps defense shifted back down the middle, trying to turn an inning-ending double play. Birds only have one hit so far in the second game of the doubleheader, but they lead the Whitecaps 1-0. Tringali set, first pitch. Fastball nips the inside corner for strike one. Murray's got that average hovering around the Mendoza line on the plus side at the moment at 202. Has driven in 10 runs this summer for the Birds in now 30 games, including 2 of them coming against the Brewster Whitecaps earlier this summer. 0-1. Fastball ripped out and missed. It's 0-2. Firebirds looking to strike once more in this first inning. Orleans already getting on the board on an RBI walk by Julio Marcano. Whitecaps put up 3 in the first inning of the first game of the doubleheader. 9th home run of the season off the bat of TJ Collette. Here's the 0-2. Fastball up and in. It's 1-2 strikes. Tom Keegan, the DH out of Vanderbilt, waits on deck for the Orleans Firebirds. Keegan's 0 for his first 3 with 3 punch-outs. Middle back for 2, corners even with the grass. Tringali set the belt, the 1-2 home. Fastball just runs inside. It's 2-2 strikes. So chance for Murray, who showcased the glove in that first game. Had a 2-hit performance last night against the Falmouth Commodores to snap out of a slump. But a very good overall around baseball player. 2-2. Fastball hit back to the screen. We'll do it again. Good battle here by Tanner Murray to continue to raise the pitch count of Tringali. It's now up to 32 pitches for Cam Tringali, and there's only 1 out in this ball game. Firebirds on top of the Whitecaps, 1-0.
And it's all because a lot of these Firebirds hitters have been seeing at least 5 or 6 pitches in each AB.
32 pitches, 16 of them strikes, 16 of them balls. Here's the 2-2. Fastball ripped out and missed. Held on by the catcher, Justin Vogt, strike 3. Another strikeout for Cam Tringali, and there's 2 away.
Aaron Tringali, he has been on, has punched out the 2 Firebirds hitters in this half inning. And if he can get on this half inning with just 1 run coming across, that's a job well done by him on the hill.
So now Dom Keegan, the batter for the Firebirds. The rising sophomore from Vanderbilt looking for his first knock on the Cape. He's 0 for his first 3, just playing in his 3rd game in the Orleans Red. Tringali set, first pitch. Fastball cut out and missed for strike 1. Birds had the bases loaded with 1 down. They were able to bring home a run on the RBI walk by Julio Marcano. He stands at first, Trevin Escara on second, and Zach Kokoska extending his lead down the third base side. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball tips off the mask of the catcher, Vogt. It's 0-2. So now Tringali 1 strike away from getting out of this jam and just keeping the damage only at 1. Firebirds only have 1 hit so far in the second game of the doubleheader, and it was just the ball that was cued back up the box. Ended up in no man's land behind the pitcher's mound. The shortstop, Gage Workman, barehanded it and almost beat Zach Kokoska, but he hustled down the line. Bases loaded with 2 down. Righty on righty matchup. The 0-2. Fastball taken upstairs. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, the Firebirds didn't get their first hit last game until the 3rd inning when it was a 2-run home run by Zach Britton.
And that first game really decided by a couple of crucial mistakes by the Brewster Whitecaps. A drop third strike allowed Zach Britton a chance in that inning. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, flutters downstairs. It's 2-2. Then Christian Malfetta threw a ball way down the right field line, allowing Shea Whitcomb, after he singled, to come all the way from first to score. Those were 3 of the 4 runs for the Orleans Firebirds. Just like that. 2-2 the count with 2 away. Here's the pitch from Tringali. Fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. High heat from Tringali. Keegan can't catch up. Back-to-back Ks for the right-hander from South Carolina. Keeps the damage at just 1. Orleans scores 1 run on 1 hit. No errors, and they leave the bases full. We're through half an inning at Stony Brook Field. Firebirds 1, Whitecaps nothing. Let's send it over to Scotty Gaines.
Hey, thanks, buddy. Just a few, observations from in between the 2 games. Of course, all the guys were rocking their PB&Js. Whole lot of PB&J action going on in the dugout. And, I will say, after seeing the loss in the first game of the doubleheader just a few short days ago, and now a win in this first game of the doubleheader, boy, is it a whole lot nicer to be on the better end, or the better end of the first game of the doubleheader. I mean, vibes were fantastic in there. Everybody was very, very happy. And, of course, they got a big win. That 4-3 W made things 8 points for them ahead, so that was a really, really big win for the Firebirds. And before the first game even started, I was talking to Jay Banfield, and, that's when it seemed like it was 85, 86. It was so hot, and we were all just kind of tired. The players were tired. There's been lots of baseball, and it was kind of an earlier start time, so everybody was kind of groggy still. And look at Jay, and I'm like, Jay, it's hot, but it's a pretty good day to play baseball. He goes, Scotty, when is it not a good day to play baseball? And really, I think this day has proven that for sure. What a special, fantastic time we're having here. Couldn't have much of a better day to really ask for. It was hot at the start, but it's cooled down. We've got a great breeze. The Firebirds had a really exciting win in Game 1, which was fun. I mean, whether you're a Firebirds fan, a Brewster Whitecaps fan, or you're just a fan of baseball, you love that game because pretty much everything happened. There's a couple deep balls, there's a couple heads-up plays, and just good pitching on both ends. So really fun, and looking forward to the next 6 innings. We're 8 of 14 through. Looking forward to the rest of the way.
While we talk about Julio Marcano having a long laugh between Orleans appearances, how about Justin Showalter? Right-hander from James Madison pitched in 2 games for the Orleans Firebirds nearly a year ago. So Showalter set to make his first appearance this summer for the Birds. Right-hander from James Madison has Orleans out in front of Brewster 1-0. Showalter, a rising junior for the Dukes, made 10 appearances this past spring, 9 starts, went 3-1 with a 3.72 ERA. First pitch to Brett Auerbach. Fastball just off the dish for ball 1. Now, for the majority of this summer, Showalter played with the Staunton Braves in the Valley Baseball League. 1-0 from the right-hander. Fastball chopped over the mound to the right side. Second baseman Marcano comes on, skips off his glove, and Auerbach reaches base. We'll see how that one is scored. Might be a base hit for Brett Auerbach.
Now batting.
Well, last game we saw about 3 of those similar choppers like that, and Marcano tried to read the ball and get it on before it hits the second hop, and unfortunately for him, got to that second hop, tried to catch it short, but hit off the edge of his glove and over his head.
So it goes down as a single for Brett Auerbach to lead off the bottom of the first. Showalter set, first pitch to Jesse Franklin, fastball dips low for ball 1. And Showalter with the Braves in the Valley Baseball League, 2-1 with a 4.50 ERA. Through 28 innings. A lot of guys get shut down at that number, but Showalter's back. Round 2 with the Birds. 2-0. Breaking ball drops low. It's 3 balls and no strikes. 2 balls and no strikes. So for Showalter, last summer, same deal. Played for the Staunton Braves at the first half of the summer. Then made 2 appearances for the Orleans Firebirds. 2-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Fastball hit hard to the right side. Auerbach shields it into right field for a base hit. Auerbach takes the turn around second. He's stumbling around the bag. He'll go first to third on a base knock by Jesse Franklin. And the Whitecaps have runners on first and third with nobody out.
The Auerbach a little tipsy over second base because he stopped and stuttered around. Gets the right angle, though, and keeps it long enough. That's a hard ball for Kokoska to throw it in towards third base, so he has to throw it in towards second. But for Showalter, it's like Groundhog Day for him on his second time around here with the Firebirds.
Now, Showalter showed off his rubber arm last summer. Threw 42 innings for the Staunton Braves in the first half of last summer. Then 2 days after his first appearance for the Braves, came to Cape Cod, made an appearance for the Orleans Firebirds. 2 days later, made a start. Went 4+ innings. First pitch to Gage Workman, hit back up the box. Knocked down by Showalter. He'll take it to the first base bag for a sure out. So Auerbach stays put at third. Franklin advances to second on the 1-3 fielder's choice.
That's a really good job by Showalter. Blocks the ball down on the mound to avoid Auerbach from scoring. Auerbach was trying to read it down there at third base and has to hold up, and Showalter saves a run.
So now a chance for TJ Collette, who blasted his 9th home run in the first game of the doubleheader. Collette tied atop the gate with Nico Cavadas from Harwich. First pitch. Breaking ball flutters in low for ball one. Orleans 1, Brewster nothing. Bottom half of the first at Stony Brook Field, but the Whitecaps threatening. Jesse Franklin scampered up to second base on the fielder's choice, and Brett Auerbach on third. 1-0. Breaking ball crushed out to deep right field. Kokoska ranging back. Center fielder Hurtaby's back at the fence and makes the grab just up against the wall. Auerbach will tag in from third, and Jesse Franklin advances 90 feet. It's a sacrifice fly off the bat of TJ Collette, and we're tied at 1 in the bottom of the first inning.
We'll talk about Groundhog Day. If that ball got out, he had a 3-run home run in the first inning in the first game. And this one just staying in the ballpark out in right center field. A little bit wrong part of the ballpark, and Hurtaby is able to make the catch. But Collette will drive in a run, and the Whitecaps are on the board.
It's now Tyler Gentry, right fielder from Alabama, shifts down to the 5-0 in game 2. First pitch, breaking ball caught on and missed for strike 1. First 2 base runners have reached for the Caps in this inning, but Justin Showalter has responded with back-to-back outs. Gentry at 6'2", 210 pounds from the right side. The 0-1. Fastball swung over the top of it's 0-2. So Showalter struck out 30 batters this past spring for James Madison and 36 in a third. And was a starter for the Dukes. 9 starts and 10 appearances. 0-2. Breaking ball on the outside corner. Ring him up. Strike 3. Tyler Gentry not happy with the call. Throws the bat towards the third base dugout. And the side is retired. But not before the Brewster Whitecaps tie this ball game up on the sacrifice fly by TJ Collette. Brewster scores 1 run on 2 hits. No errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. After an inning at Stony Brook Field, Firebirds and Caps tied at 1. You're listening to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
It's definitely been a summer that I'll never forget.
I know the relationships have been so special for you. How much fun has that been for you to make these relationships with guys from across the country?
Well, when you get to sit in a bullpen for 9 innings with a guy from UNC or a guy from Loyola Marymount, like it's definitely you're forced to make friends out there.
Yeah, you better make friends with those guys.
If not, it's gonna be a long 9 innings. But no, for all the guys that I've met up here have been just great guys, and like that's what we did. Like in our mind up thing today, we did. It was like, what is the goal that you want after this summer with your team? And it's like to create like a lifelong friendship with people. And like I truly believe that I've definitely made some of those throughout this.
Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. Orleans and Brewster tied at 1 as we go to the second inning. It'll be 8-9-1 for the Firebirds. David Avidia, Josh Zamora, and Jacob Hurtaby set to battle against Cam Tringali. Right-hander from South Carolina struggled in that first inning. Let the first 2 base runners reach, including a walk. Issued another 2 free passes to bring home a run, but kept the damage at 1 with back-to-back Ks. First pitch to David Avidia. Fastball taken right down Broadway for strike 1. Tringali's second inning on the bump this afternoon. Firebirds and Whitecaps squared at 1 in the top of the second inning. Right-hander from South Carolina stands at 6'4", 220 pounds. Rocks and fires 0-1. Fastball runs inside. Nicks Avidia on the left elbow. He'll trot down to first base. And the fourth base runner today has reached without a hit for the Firebirds, and we're only through the first 8 batters.
We've seen a couple times this year where the Firebirds have been able to manufacture runs and not get a base hit.
So now Josh Zamora, third baseman from Nevada Reno, making his 24th start of the summer. He'll get a chance to start game 2 of the doubleheader after coming off the bench as a pinch runner in the first game. Avidia is aboard at first after the hit by pitch. The 9-hole hitter, Josh Zamora, stepping in from the right side. Zamora just 2 for his last 22, batting a $154. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball taken upstairs, gets past the catcher, Vogt, and rolls to the backstop. David Avidia scampers to second on the pass ball. So now we'll see if the approach changes for the Firebirds. With the game tied at 1, and your 9-hole hitter at the plate, will Zamora be asked to bunt? He's choking up big time on the bat from the right side. Good 5-6 inches between Zamora's bottom hand and the barrel. Third baseman Hardman charting in from the third base side, 1-0. Fastball taken at the belt, it's 1-1. So Avidia is on second after a hit by pitch and then a pass ball. And Zamora's got 9 RBIs for the Birds, batting for the first time today. Second team All-Mountain West Conference selection, drove in a team best 38 runs for the Wolfpack this past spring. Avidia being held on by Auerbach, the 1-1 home. Fastball cut on and missed, it's 1-2. Zamora has had good plate discipline this summer. 15 Ks in now 29 games. Trying to at least pick up a productive out and move Avidia 90 feet. Tringali long stare in. Right-hander now comes set. Checks on Avidia at second. The 1-2 home. Fastball on the inside corner. Strike 3 called. Hard heater from Tringali dots the inside part. It's the 4th K. That's how all 4 outs have come for Tringali tonight, and there's 1 down.
Man, Tringali's just been hot or cold at times on the mound. He can really throw strikes at times. Other times just loses it a bit.
So now Jacob Hurtubise, the leadoff man, will bat for the second time in this game. Drew a walk to kick off this ball game and came around to score the Birds' first run. First pitch from Tringali. Fastball spots the outside corner for strike 1. And that at bat was nothing out of the ordinary for Hurtubise, who drew 69 walks this past spring at Army. Set a single season record. 69 walks in 61 games. Avidia extending his lead over at second, the 0-1 home. Breaking ball, Hurtubise out in front, slaps it to the first base side. Dodd comes on, takes it to the bag himself. Avidia moves up 90 feet on the productive ground out by Jacob Hurtubise.
Now batting, the right fielder from Kansas State.
Now Zach Kokoska will take his second turn at the plate. And Kokoska, the lone Firebirds hit this evening. Just a cue shot off the bat. Ended up right behind the pitcher's mound and hustled down the line to beat the throw from Gage Workman. 1-1 your score between the Firebirds and the Whitecaps, with a runner on third and 2 outs in the top of the second inning. Tringali's first pitch. Fastball right down Broadway for strike 1. Kokoska came on as a pinch hitter in that first game and went 0 for 1. Played right field as well in the latter innings for Zach Daniels. Tringali set 0-1. Fastball backs up Kokoska. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Now, for whatever reason, Zach Kokoska on the road, he's been a very good hitter. Bats .282 away from Eldridge Park. A little more than 100 points higher than what he bats on the Firebirds' home turf. 1-1. Fastball cut right through. It's 1-2. Casca, a rising junior, originally from Pennsylvania. Took his talents to Virginia Tech, straight out of high school. Spent 1 year for the Hokies and then transferred to Kansas State. He became a phenom in the Big 12. Honorable mention selection this past spring. 1-2. Fastball waved out and missed, strike 3. Another strikeout for Cam Tringali. He's got 5 through the first 2 innings and keeps the Birds off the board. Orleans scores no runs on no hits, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. After an inning and a half, it's the Firebirds 1 and the Whitecaps 1. And Thomas, it's been a long day of baseball here at Stony Brook Field, but the Firebirds, beneficiaries of that first game, and looking pretty strong in game 2 as well.
Yeah, no, Kim Tringali has worked his way out of jams. It's what we kind of saw of Jake Eater yesterday in the ball game. Limited damage to the Commodores, unfortunately, in that loss. But in game 1 here at Stony Brook Field, it was, again, just a couple of miscues that kind of aided in the Firebirds' winning effort. Just going back to, you mentioned the drop third strike that allowed Zach Daniels to reach base in the third, and then 2 batters later, Zach Britton blast a 2-run blast, or 2-run home run in the third to put the Birds on the board, and they really didn't look back from there. Solo home run from Wickham, and then the eventual run from Shea Wickham after an error from the catcher Malfetta allows him to come all the way around to score from first base.
So it's gotten the Birds to this point, and the Birds have win number 19 secured. Usually, Thomas, the way it goes, you win around 20 games on the Cape, you're likely to make the postseason. It's nearly half of your wins, obviously a 44-game slate during the regular season. But the Birds, 19, 15, and 3. They've got 41 points, and if they win in Game 2 of the doubleheader, they'll be tied with the YD Red Sox for second. Red Sox holding the tiebreaker over the Birds at the moment, but things can change with still plenty of ball games left to go after today. Firebirds 1, Whitecaps 1. Last of the second at Stony Brook Field. Justin Showalter, who kept the damage at just 1, goes back out for the second frame. Tyler Hardman, third baseman from Oklahoma, steps in. First pitch. Fastball above the letters for ball 1. Showalter allowed the first 2 Whitecaps to reach in that first inning, but got 3 straight outs just to bring home 1 run on a sacrifice fly. Showalter winds and fires 1-0. Fastball sent down the right field line. Kokoska giving chase. This one running towards the corner. Skips down near the Firebirds bullpen, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, the Firebirds bullpen down there got a little of a pop-up tent down there in the sunny spot in the right field corner. Keep them cool down there.
Boy, are they enjoying life today. Only 1 pitcher used in the first game out of the pen for the Firebirds. It was Chase Wallace, who was absolutely dominant on the bump. 3 innings of scoreless baseball, only surrendered 1 hit and struck out 3. Showalter winds and fires the 1-1. Breaking ball, check swing to the right side, hit at Julio Marcano. Comes on, throws over the top to first. And there's 1 away. So Showalter sets down Tyler Hardman. And now Mason Dodd, the first baseman from Belmont Abbey, will dig in.
Mason Dodd.
And Dodd in a little bit of a rut right now. 1 for his last 24 with 11 strikeouts. Started the summer with the Katuitt Kettleers and now has come across the Cape to the 8th Division and the Brewster Whitecaps. First pitch, fastball squared off the mask of David Avidia for strike 1. Orleans and Brewster tied at 1 with 1 away in the bottom half of the second inning. Home plate umpire Ronaldo Cockrum just giving Avidia a moment. Walked the baseball out to Justin Showalter. Now grabs the comb to brush off the plate. Dodd hitting in the 7th spot in game 2 of the doubleheader. 0-1 from the right-hander. Breaking ball just downstairs. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Justin Vogt, the catcher from Maryland, to follow in the frame for Brewster. 6, 7, and 8, 2 up. Showalter, the 1-1. Breaking ball skips in low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Now for Dodd, a first-team All-Carolina Conference selection. Led the league in RBI, 64. Has 5 on the Cape this summer. 2-1. Fastball hit on a rocket. 1 bounce to the second baseman Marcano. Picks it up, throws on to first. back-to-back 4-3 putouts, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, Marcano getting some ground ball work over there at second base. That one was a hot shot by Don, but a nice one hop off the turf right into Marcano's glove. Easy play for him over at second base.
So now Justin Vogt, who's been a little hit or miss this summer for the Brewster Whitecaps. Maryland Terrapin just batting a .185. Larksville, PA native steps in. First pitch from Showalter. Fastball squared into shallow right center field. The right fielder Kokoska coming on. This bounces down for a base hit. So Vogt bloops a single into right, extends the inning for the Brewster Whitecaps, and they've got the go-ahead run on first.
Yeah, Justin Vogt, a guy that has struggled this year on the Cape, but able to pull through with a single there into shallow right center. Sometimes jumping on the first pitch can help as well.
So now Duke Ellis, who snapped the 6-game on-base streak in the first game of the doubleheader, steps in. First pitch, fastball hit hard on a line right to the Brewster Whitecaps dugout, and about 15 Whitecaps stuck for their lives. And this one man who comes away with it just rolls it to the ball boy.
That was a hot shot. Couple guys ducking for cover.
Fortunately, no laptops in the way, and everyone was able to duck out of trouble as well. 0-1. Breaking ball fisted down the left side. It's 0-2. Firebirds and Whitecaps squared at 1 with a runner on first and 2 down in the last of the second. Ellis' second go-around on the Cape, spent last year with the Katuitt Kettleers. Showalter set, the 0-2. Fastball tails outside. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now, Bryce Johnson, our fabulous producer, said it was too soon to make the joke. I think it's right okay. And Bryce's mom agrees. 1-2, breaking ball fisted to the right side. Who else but the second baseman Julio Marcano comes on, tosses to first, and the side is retired. So Justin Showalter works around a 2-out single as the Whitecaps score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. After 2 innings at Stony Brook Field, Firebirds and the Whitecaps tied at 1, and let's send it over to Scotty Gaines. Scotty.
Hey, thanks, buddy. We've talked about it a number of times today, just our lunches with Kelly, and instead of talking about it, I think we should just kind of show you some of the cool things that we get to do and some of the cool things we get to hear. So here's a fun little video of our time at Land Ho last week.
And all the work that it takes to be successful. Baseball is a game of failure, and why it's the best game, I think, is because there's always the next day to come out and play. No matter if you go 4 for 5, the next day you come out and go 4 for 4 with 2 doubles, and it feels really nice. And you forget about the day before, so I'd say that's my favorite part.
How about you, Coach?
I think people have asked me this before, and I think one of my favorite days is our first day of stretch, when you've seen them play, you followed them during their regular season in the spring, you haven't met them, you hear about them from their coaches, and then they all show up in Orleans and take that first jog down to the fence, and it's kind of all come to fruition, and it's a special day for me.
We're back on? Cool, great. Thanks. Heart of the lineup for the Orleans Firebirds coming up. Max Troiani, Trevin Esquera, and Julio Marcano set to bat, with the Firebirds and the Whitecaps squared at 1 as we go to the top of the 3rd. Left fielder from Bentley, Max Troiani steps in from the right side. And the right-hander, Cam Tringali, out of South Carolina, towing the rubber from the first base side. First pitch from Tringali to Troiani. Fastball up and in for ball 1. Trevin Esquera and Julio Marcano set to follow in the inning. Troiani 0 for 1 tonight, struck out swinging his first time up. One of 5 strikeout victims for Tringali so far. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball shot into shallow center field. Center fielder Ellis coming in. Auerbach going out. It's the second baseman who makes the call on the catch for the first out of the frame. So Max Troiani continues to struggle against the Whitecaps today. He falls to a combined 0 for 6 in the doubleheader. And now Trevin Esquera First baseman from Loyola Marymount will step in from the left side. Right-hander Tringali just circling the right arm. Stares in, tan glove close to his left breast. Now he comes set, first pitch. Breaking ball flutters outside for ball 1. Firebirds 1, Whitecaps 1. One away in the top of the third. In the second game of a doubleheader from Stony Brook Field. Firebirds took the first one, 4-3. 1-0. Fastball catches the inside corner. It's 1-1. Now Mascara, despite all the strikeouts for the Firebirds so far in this ball game, one of 3 free passes worked out by Orleans. Got stranded at second base. 1-1. Breaking ball drops downstairs. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Mascara coming across the country to play here on Cape Cod from Loyola Marymount. San Diego, California native, ambidextrous through and through. 2-1. Fastball spots the inner half. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, you mentioned some guys making the cross-country trip. Some people drive out from the West Coast in California and up in the Northwest.
I know Zebulon Vermillion took his car all the way from Kansas to get to Cape Cod.
It's a long way.
Big Z driving a long way. 2-2 the count to the Birds cleanup man. The pitch. Fastball fouled back to the screen. We'll do it again.
Couple fellow broadcasters as well. Lyle Goldstein and TJ Matheson with Hyannis and YD driving out from the Northwest together.
2 good friends at Arizona State. 1 away in the top of the third. Firebirds and Whitecaps squared at 1 apiece. 2-2 pitch. Fastball skied a mile high into shallow right center field. Center fielder Duke Ellis charging in. He'll make the call. He'll make the grab. And there's 2 away. So 2 quick outs for Cam Tringali, who settled into this ball game. He's now retired 5 in a row, as well as 7 of the last 8 he's faced. And Marcano, the lone RBI tonight for the Firebirds, and it seems that's been the way it's been since Julio's been in town. Didn't hit this ball hard, didn't hit it far. He just watched a ball drift out of the zone and worked a full count and a bases-loaded walk. So Marcano trying to extend the inning. First pitch. Breaking ball misses downstairs for ball 1.
Well, Marcano had the lone RBI against Falmouth as well a few nights back.
The lone RBI today for Marcano, his 4th of the summer. Playing in his 7th game as an Orleans Firebird and has been on in 6 straight. 1-0. Fastball watches on the outside corner. It's 1-1. Katy, Texas native, stands at 5'11", 205. Listed as a second baseman and outfielder. We've seen him do the first, have yet to see him in the outfield. 1-1. Breaking ball fisted out on the left side of the infield. Shortstop Gage Workman standing under it, makes the 2-handed snatch, and the side is retired. A 1-2-3 inning for Cam Tringali. He has set down the last 6 Firebirds he's faced. We're through 2.5 at Stony Brook Field. Orleans and Brewster tied at 1. You're listening to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Here's the payoff pitch. Breaking ball in there, called strike 3. Jared Schuster freezes Andrew Eister. Trowny chokes up on the bat. 1-1 from the southpaw. Breaking ball shot into shallow right field. The right fielder Cabrera coming on. This bounces down for a hit. Aviti is in from third. 2-2. Fastball at the knees. Ring him up. Strike 3. Skiro paints the outside part of the plate.
From Alabama, number 29, Brett Auerbach.
Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. Justin Showalter winds and fires. First pitch to Brett Auerbach. Shows bunt, takes a fastball on the outside corner for strike one. Firebirds and Whitecaps squared at one apiece with the top of Brewster's lineup coming up. Jesse Franklin and Gage Workman to follow in the inning. Showalter rocks and winds the 0-1. Breaking ball ripped out and missed. It's 0-2. Auerbach a leadoff single in the first inning. Came home to score the lone Whitecap run today on a sacrifice fly by TJ Collette. Showalter looking for punch-out number 2, the 0-2. Breaking ball cut on and missed, strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Showalter sets down Auerbach on 3 pitches, and there's one away.
Yeah, and Auerbach's been a pest in the side for the Firebirds at the plate, working good ABs between all the matchups this year and coming off that fantastic all-star game he had, and Showalter just pushes him aside with ease.
So now Jesse Franklin will take his second licks at the plate. Franklin 1 for 1 tonight. Left fielder from Michigan steps in. First pitch. Fastball skied a mile high left side into shallow left field. The shortstop Murray going out. Camps under it, makes the grab. And on 4 pitches, there's 2 away. So 2 quick outs for Justin Showalter in his first appearance for the Birds this summer. And now Gage Workman hit a ball hard right back to Showalter in the first. But the right-hander from James Madison knocked it down, fielded it, looked back the runner to third, and then tossed to first base. 2 quick outs in the last of the third. Firebirds and Whitecaps tied at 1. First pitch. Fastball drops low for ball 1.
And just some food for thought here, just scrolling through online, and with Brewster being defeated in game 1 of the doubleheader, Chatham officially clinches a playoff spot.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball nubbed right side off the front foot of Workman. They'll call it foul. It's 1-1. So I did see that on social media. And our good friend KJ Edelman, Chatham Anglers beat writer, told me to text him during the first game if the Birds were winning. But I don't think that's true. I don't think they've clinched yet. It's not on point streak, and I was doing the math myself. I believe Chatham either needs 1 point tonight or Brewster to lose this second game of the doubleheader.
Just that ASU and Syracuse math, maybe. I don't know.
Journalists not known for their mathematics skills. Showalter winds and fires 1-1. Fastball, high chopper to the right side. Hits off the netting right to the ball boy on the first side, who made a spectacular grab with the left hand. It's 1-2.
Well, I saw a tweet from Josh Schaefer, so I texted him back, you know.
Are you sure? Point streak doesn't have it.
I just said you're welcome.
Showalter looking for his first 1-2-3 inning tonight. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, Workman just got a piece, and we'll do it again. Workman came on in the second game as a pinch hitter. Went down. He's 0 for 2 in the doubleheader. 1-2. Breaking ball misses off the dish. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Workman, shortstop out of Arizona State, and boy, is this kid highly touted as they come. 6'4", 205-pound switch hitting infielder. Rare as it gets. 2-2. Breaking ball. Workman stays alive. We'll do it again. Was an East Division All-Star for a reason. Was the MVP of that game. And when you look back in years to come, people who were on Cape Cod will know it was shared. In the record books, it's just going down as one man, and that's Gage Workman. Went 2 for 2 in that game with a 2-run inside the Parker. 2-2. Fastball squares this one down the left side and out of play. We'll do it again.
Say, 10 years from now, where were you when they were co-MVPs? Only one was named. It's Gage Workman, Auerbach.
So Brett Auerbach, Gage Workman, the 2 Brewster Whitecaps want to combine 5 for 5 with 4 RBIs on Sunday at the All-Star game. 2-2. Breaking ball sent out to left center field. Long run for Max Strani coming in. He'll make the grab in the left center field alley. And the side is retired. A 1-2-3 inning for Justin Showalter, the right-hander from James Madison, has set down 7 of the last 8 he's faced and has the Birds and the Whitecaps tied at 1 through the first 3 innings. Scotty Gage making his way on the first base side to talk with Kelly Nicholson, and we'll send it over to Scotty next to Coach Kelly Nicholson.
Thank you, Coach. We've seen 3 solid innings from Justin Showalter. His first outing as a Orleans Firebird. What have you liked from him so far?
Well, he's keeping the ball down and pitching to both sides of the plate and throwing strikes, man. He's, the ball has some good movement on it. He's super poised out there, and if I know it was ruled a hit, but it was a pretty tough play in the first inning. If Julio comes up with that thing, they probably don't have any on the board. So, yeah, proud of the way he's performed so far.
When you watch a guy for the first time as a Firebird, is there anything specifically that you look to watch for?
No, well, he was up here last summer at the end, so we're familiar with Justin, and so it's not the first time that we've seen him.
All right, thanks so much, Coach. Good luck the rest of the way. Appreciate it. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
So thank you, Scotty and Skip. Firebirds and the Whitecaps tied at 1. We'll go to the top of the 4th at Stony Brook Field. Cam Tringali back out on the bump for the Brewster Whitecaps. Firebirds took game 1 of the doubleheader, Thomas, 4-3. And you would think if the Firebirds find a way to take game 2, Orleans is sitting pretty good for a playoff spot this summer.
Yeah, no, they definitely are. If they can sweep it here, it's going to go a long way in trying to give them a good seed, but also a spot in the playoffs. But again, getting that better seed is important as well. Who you match up against, especially if you're the Firebirds, you don't want YD.
Cam Tringali goes back out for the 4th at Stony Brook Field, with the Firebirds and the Whitecaps tied at 1. Tanner Murray to lead off the frame for the Orleans Firebirds. Right-hander Tringali waving the arm in a circle over the mound, staring in. First pitch home. Murray shows bunt, nubs it back foul for strike 1. Orleans 1, Brewster 1. Here in the top of the 4th at Stony Brook Field. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 for the Birds in this inning, with Tom Keegan and David Avidia to follow. And a fight for the ball behind the plate. The Orleans Firebirds ball boy winning the tackle match.
It's dictated so far in this game as well.
The 0-1. Fastball sent to the line, almost takes the head off of Tringali back into center field for a base hit. Why bunt for a hit when you can line one into center? Tanner Murray just the second hit of the afternoon for the Orleans Firebirds.
Yeah, Tanner Murray didn't have a base hit in game 1, but the game before that against Falmouth, again, collected 2 hits in that ball game. And he was hot at the dish, and then comes into this ball game, and that's a great piece of hitting. That was right on the sweet spot of the barrel, as you mentioned, almost taken off ahead of Tringali.
Tom Keegan a bat now for the Firebirds. DH tonight for Kelly Nicholson's club, 0 for his first 4 in the game. Tringali has snapped out of first base. Murray dives headlong back in. Keegan a strikeout victim his first time up. That's how all 4 of his plate appearances have gone so far this summer. But an extremely highly touted kid out of Methuen, Massachusetts. Tringali's first pitch. Breaking ball spiked low. Catcher Vogt knocks it down. Murray scampers to second. He'll go in without a throw. So a great block by Justin Vogt, but an even better read by Tanner Murray to take second base on the dirt ball.
And we've seen a couple of times that he's done that this year as well. I think he might be one of the best pitch readers in the dirt on this Firebirds roster. Reading a ball like that in the dirt.
So now the go-ahead run in scoring position with nobody out in the top of the 4th. Orleans and Brewster squared at 1. The 1-0 to Keegan. Fastball ripped out and missed. It's 1-1. Keegan just played in 15 games this past spring for the Vanderbilt Commodores, helping Vandy claim a national championship. Second under Tim Corbin, good friend of Kelly Nicholson of nearly 20 years. Second baseman Auerbach holding Murray on. Big hole on the right side. The 1-1. Fastball skied high, backing out of play. It's 1-2. So a chance for the 6-foot, 210-pound slugger to pick up his first hit and RBI on the Cape. Keegan 5 days away from celebrating just his 19th birthday. One of the youngest players on this Orleans Firebirds club. Murray extending his lead at second base, dancing back to the back. 1-2. Fastball taken on the outside corner, called strike 3. Another strikeout for Cam Tringali. It's his 6th of the night, and there's 1 away.
Well, Tringali has been on his A game, as I mentioned, at times in location. Just a 1-hit ball from really Murray that has done the damage against him so far, but it was just the walks back in the first that killed him.
So now David Avidia will try and bring home the run for the Orleans Firebirds. Catcher from Grand Canyon was hit by the pitch his last time up. Murray aboard at second. Ginormous secondary lead. First pitch to Avidia, squared foul for strike one. Just got off the end of the bat for Avidia. Came in as a defensive replacement in that first game. Took 1 AB as well and went down swinging. Avidia at the 165 mark this summer. 28th game played for the Orleans Firebirds. Just 3 RBIs, but that bat's starting to heat up. No batting glove look from the right side, waving the black and brown bat over the right shoulder. 0-1. Breaking ball misses low. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Josh Zamora waits on deck for the Firebirds. He would have a chance to drive in the go-ahead run. Orleans and Brewster tied at 1 here in the top of the 4th. Murray aboard at second, a leadoff single, scampered to second on the wild pitch. Murray, a great lead. He's taken off 1-1. Fastball taken on the inside corner. Murray swipes third without a throw. And boy, Thomas, you got a point. This kid runs the bases as good as anyone we've seen.
Yeah, he just reads what Tringale's looks are over on the mound, and finally, after a while, he picks it up, sees what Tringale's doing, and takes third base with ease.
Now the go-ahead run just 90 feet away, and the Whitecaps going to bring their infield in. Just a 7-inning affair at Stony Brook Field, and we're tied in the 4th. 1-2. Breaking ball line down the left side, but Avidia out in front, and we'll do it again.
Well, that's about the Zach Daniels line we saw earlier in the ball game in Game 1, and that ball was able to find the outfield grass just a little early on it. Moving a base hit, driven a run.
Avidia drove in 29 runs this past spring at Grand Canyon. Infield in for the Caps, the outfield shortening up as well. 1 away in the top of the 4th in a 1-1 game. 1-2. Breaking ball cut on a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Cam Tringale. He's got 7 tonight, and there's 2 down.
And with the way he's been mowing down some of these Firebird setters, he's going to get to double digits with ease.
From Nevada, number 8, Josh.
So we saw Molchinski from South Carolina yesterday, who's now tied for first on the Cape with Connor Ash from Hyannis out of Missouri. Molchinski out of South Carolina. Out here, Tringale racking up the Ks as well.
It's now a chance for Josh Zamora to give the Birds the lead. First pitch. Fastball cut on a miss, dropped by the catcher Bode, but retreats to his right to grab the baseball and keep Murray put it first. Firebirds had a leadoff man in this inning. That was Tanner Murray. A base hit into right. Scampered to second on a wild pitch, then moved to third after he stole the bag, his 5th stolen base. He's 90 feet away with 2 down. The 0-1 to Zamora. Breaking ball, cut on and missed. It's 0-2. Tringale, the wipeout stuff tonight on the bump. Struggled through the first inning, but kept the damage at 1 after racking up 3 Ks. He's racked up at least 2 strikeouts in 3 of the first 4 innings. Looking for his 3rd in this frame. 0-2. Fastball sent into center field. Duke Ellis coming on. He's going to make the grab in stride, and the side is retired. Good wood on that ball from Josh Zamora, but hung up just enough for Ellis to get there. Orleans unable to take advantage of the leadoff base knock because the Birds score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. After 3.5 at Stony Brook Field, Firebirds and Whitecaps tied at 1. And Thomas, this playoff race starting to heat up for everyone around the Cape Cod Baseball League. Birds took Game 1 of the doubleheader 4-3 to continue their climb up the East Division. The Falmouth Commodores did the same, winners of 10 straight games. The longest stretch the Falmouth Commodores have had since 2000, as long as the Cape League has been keeping track of box scores. The YD Red Sox and the Harwich Mariners in a shootout at Red Wilson Field. It's 6-5 in the top of the 5th, and Falmouth and Bourne tied in Game 2 of the doubleheader at Gov Fuller Field 1-1.
Yeah, definitely a couple games to watch out there. That YD Harwich game, and Chatham trying to extend their lead in the East Division, but that is probably the numero uno in this game as well. Time for numero uno of what game to watch here on Cape Cod. It'd be cool to see if the Commodores, how long they can make this streak. Could it be an Oakland A's money to ball type of streak or what?
Now, some people might say Falmouth's peaking too early. They're getting hot to make sure they get into the postseason and rack up the #1 seed, but maybe it's coming just a week or two too soon.
Well, especially the way Wareham can play. We've seen them and Jerry Weinstein. He's a smart minded guy in the dugout. Manager, the skipper of the Gatemen. Katuan as well, very talented team, also led by Mike Roberts. He's been in the postseason quite a few times himself.
Orleans and Brewster tied at 1 as we go to the bottom of the 4th at Stony Brook Field. First pitch from Justin Showalter. Fastball taken on the inside corner for strike 1. TJ Collette, Tyler Gentry, and Tyler Hardman due up in the frame for the Brewster Whitecaps, with the Firebirds and the Whitecaps tied at 1. 0-1 pitch. Breaking balls ties up Collette. It's 0-2. Justin Showalter has retired the last 4 Whitecaps hitters he's faced. Has looked sharp since that first inning. Allowed the first 2 base runners to reach, but since then only 1 other hit. 0-2. Fastball stays above the letters. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Showalter looking for just his 3rd strikeout. Winds and fires 1-2. Breaking ball sent into deep center field. Hurtaby's ranging to his right. Left center field alley. He'll make the grab in front of the warning track for the first down.
Well, all I can say is Collette has power. I mean, he has power in that tan bat of his, because that one looked like it was sounded off as the edge of the barrel, and that ball got way out there in deep center field. The wind's not really blowing out there, not blowing out as much as it maybe looks like it's doing, but.
First pitch to Gentry. Breaking ball gets a piece off the end of the bat for strike 1. Orleans and Brewster squared at 1 in the last of the 4th at Stony Brook Field. This will be a dash through the first 7 innings. We won't go past the 7-inning mark. No extras left in the regular season. 0-1. Breaking ball bounces low. It's 1-1. Cape Cod Baseball League trying to save the arms for both these squads and the rest of the 8 on the Cape. The playoffs right around the corner. Gentry 0 for 1, struck out looking his first time up. 1-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. He goes fishing. It's 1-2. Showalter's retired the last 5, as well as 9 of the last 10 he's faced. Here's the 1-2. Fastball upstairs. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Make it 10 of the last 11 after the pop-up by TJ Collette. 2-2. Fastball sent into deep right center field. Kokoska has room. He's gliding over to his right. Puts down the shades, makes the grab. And 3 straight flyouts in a row to the deepest part of the ballpark, and there's 2 down. Showalter not doing too much on the bump, throwing strikes and letting his defense go to work behind him. Right-hander from James Madison. Now 43 pitches through 3 2/3. And we saw him last summer for the Orleans Firebirds for a couple of games do just the same. Right-hander Showalter winds and fires. First pitch to Hartman. Breaking ball shot back to the screen for strike 1. Another battle for the ball behind home plate. The Orleans Firebirds ball boy wins it. Tossed it to the Brewster Whitecap. Ball boy runs it back. What a display of sportsmanship. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball has Hardman out in front. It's 0-2.
We're in Falmouth, and then there's another scrum, and then the Orleans ball will end up tripping and falling right in front of us in the broadcast table in Orleans.
Hardman 0 for 3 against the Birds in the doubleheader. 0-2. Breaking ball hit hard on the ground. Candy hop to the shortstop. Tanner Murray fires onto first, and this side is retired. Back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for Justin Showalter. He's cruising through the first 4 at Stony Brook Field. The Birds and the Caps tied at 1. We'll head to a short break. You're listening to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Hey, welcome back here into Eldridge Park. Scotty Gange alongside Orleans manager Kelly Nicholson. Coach, first time since 2004 there's been an all-star game here at Eldridge. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's cool. I think it's a great, obviously I think it's the best venue on the Cape, and if you're going to have an all-star game on the Cape, I don't think you can pick a better place than Eldridge.
You said it, it's all the best players on the Cape are out here today. To be kind of a guy watching them warm up and do all that thing and work with all these great players today, how much fun are you having?
Yeah, it's fun. We just talked. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's already been a long day and the game hasn't started, but it's fun. It's nice to have these guys from Chatham and Brewster and Whiting and Harwich on our side.
Yeah.
Because there's obviously some very good players, and it's going to be fun watching them play tonight.
I know for me, seeing a lot of the guys from the other teams, I've kind of been surprised by how personable all these guys are. That guys that are kind of just faces to us. What have you been surprised about today?
I don't think there's been any real surprises other than it's hot, man. It's just
You're
hot.
telling me.
God dang it. But yeah, no surprises so far. It's been very well organized, and the brunch was good, and BP was good, and in and outs are going well. We're getting ready for the home run derby, and I guess in about an hour and 15 minutes we'll have first pitch. So it's been a good day. It's been very smooth, at least as far as I can see.
Max Troiani out of Bentley, Jared Schuster's out here, Noah Skiro on his birthday are out here. Orleans Fire.
Cam Tringali goes back out for the 5th inning with the Firebirds and the Whitecaps squared at 1 in the second game of the doubleheader at Stony Brook Field. Top of the Firebirds lineup, Jacob Hurtubise to kick things off. The center fielder from Army steps in from the left side. And the right-hander, Cam Tringali, 4 strong innings for the Brewster Whitecaps. He's only surrendered 2 hits. The right-hander from South Carolina set at the belt. First pitch from Cam Tringali to Jacob Hurtubise. Fastball spots the inside corner for strike 1. Firebirds 1, Whitecaps 1. Top of the 5th at Stony Brook Field. Hurtubise the leadoff man tonight for the Orleans Firebirds. Drew a walk to kick off this ball game. 0-1. Hurtubise shows bunt, pulls back on the breaking ball upstairs. It's 1-1. Hurtubise came around to score on an RBI free pass to Julio Marcano in that first. That's been the only offense for Orleans in Game 2 of this doubleheader. The 1-1. Breaking ball drops downstairs. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Hurtubise came in to score in that first inning before the Whitecaps answered with a run of their own on the sacrifice fly by T.J. Collette. That's where this ball game stands in the top of the 5th. 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch to Hurtubise. Fastball drifts outside. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Zach Kokoska and Max Troiani to follow in the inning for Orleans. Hurtubise in his lone other plate appearance grounded out to the first baseman Mason Don. Tringali set at the belt, a deep breath, the 3-1 home. Fastball catches the inside corner at the knees, and the count runs full. Last time Jacob Hurtubise drew a walk, it was 3-2 as well. He has a knack for drawing deep counts, and just like any stereotypical leadoff hitter might do. Tringali gets the sign. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball hit hard down the left side. It's a fair ball. Hurtubise racing out of the box. He'll take the turn for second. Almost loses the helmet. The throw in for the left fielder, Jesse Franklin, will go into the cutoff man. It's a leadoff double for Jacob Hurtubise. And the Birds have the go-ahead run in scoring position with nobody out.
Well, Hurtubise had a C9 double just like that yesterday against Falmouth down the third baseline back at Eldridge Park. Almost losing the helmet, as you mentioned. It's cool because he wears his baseball cap right underneath the helmet. Don't see that very often anymore.
Now Zach Kokoska, right fielder from Kansas State, who's already 1 for 2 tonight. We'll dig in. We'll see if Kokoska's asked to bunt in this situation. Just a 7-inning game at Stony Brook Field, and we're tied in the 5th. Leadoff man on second with nobody out. Corners creeping in for the Whitecaps. Kokoska squares, nubs up the third base side. It's a beauty rolling down the third base side and just trickles foul. It was hugging the right side of that third base line. Skipped on either a pebble or just a bounce on that third base line and moved left.
Yeah, it looked like it hit one of the divots down there. Made maybe last game, and unfortunately, we've seen some beautiful bunts by Zach Kokoska this year. Remember the one against Katuitt at home against Eldridge when they won that 1-0 in the 8th inning. Kokoska made a picture-perfect bunt. This one almost splendid down that line.
It's almost like watching Tiger Woods' Masters putt back in 2005. The ball just rolling, sitting on the lip of the cup, and drops down. In this instance, it rolls foul. Hurtubise on at second. Workman trying to keep him close. Kokoska squaring around. 0-1. Breaking ball. He bunts right through it up in the zone. It's 0-2.
Well, if you want to hear cool golf reference, obviously you know Kokoska from Latrobe, Pennsylvania, home of Arnold Palmer. Our very own Paige Thompson is wearing a Bay Hill Golf Club Polo yesterday, which is Arnold Palmer's home golf course down in Florida. And Paige Thompson's played that golf course, but he's also played it with Arnold Palmer himself. Very jealous. Very
Casual to know Arnold Palmer, right? That's Paige Thompson for you folks. Orleans and Brewster tied at 1. But they go ahead run in scoring position for the Firebirds in the top of the 5th inning. This is a big ball game. If the Birds are somehow able to take the doubleheader from Brewster, that practically knocks the Whitecaps, at least from jumping the Firebirds at any point this summer. 0-2. Breaking ball, cut on and missed by Kokoska. Vogt dropped the baseball. Kokoska's going to start running down to first. Hurtubise takes off for third. The throw back skips past Hardman and goes out of play. Jacob Hurtubise is awarded home, and speed kills once again. Hurtubise darted to third after Kokoska started running down on the drop third strike. An errant throw from Mason Dodd puts the Birds up 2-1.
Unfortunately, Kokoska strikes out, but also the awareness as well, never to give up on that. Wants to jog down towards first base, make it a play, because that helps Hurtubise trying to attempt to get down towards third base. Read it correctly. Got a good jump at second. Ends up, would have been safe at third, I think, anyway, but trickles past the third baseman Harmon, and with his ball field here, he scores.
So now Max Strani steps in, first pitch. Breaking ball has it out in front for strike 1. Strani 0 for 2 in game number 2 of this doubleheader, including a strikeout. He's 0 for 6. He's been in a slight rut as of late for the Orleans Firebirds. 0-1. Fastball taken on the outside corner. It's 0-2. It's been a storybook summer for Troiani. Only supposed to be here for 2 weeks, go to his internship in Boston, but has been one of the best hitters on the Cape. Tringali looking for another punch out, the 0-2. Breaking ball flared into shallow right field. The first baseman Dodd going out. Back pedals to make the grab on the outfield grass for the second out of the inning. So now Trevin Escara will look to extend the frame after Jacob Hurtubise scampered home to give the Birds a 2-1 lead. And this inning has all been Jacob Hurtubise. A leadoff double. Took third as Kokoska started running down to first on the drop third strike, and then scampered home on the error by Mason Dodd. First pitch. Breaking ball ties up Escara. He checked his swing. They'll appeal down to third. He went around for strike 1. Orleans on top of Brewster 2-1 with 2 away in the top of the 5th inning. Cam Tringali 8 Ks in 4 2/3. Right-hander from South Carolina set the 0-1. Fastball taken up and away. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Now, as good as Tringali has been at racking up the punch-outs, he struggled with command early in the ball game. He walked 3 in the first, hasn't walked anyone since. The 1-1. Breaking ball has a scare out in front. It's 1-2. First baseman from Loyola Marymount steps back in from the left side, extends the tan and black bat straight at Cam Tringali. No one warming up in the Whitecaps bullpen. A couple guys tossing around a baseball. 1-2. Fastball taken above the eye level by Escara. It's 2-2. Now with a win tonight, the Orleans Firebirds would have their 20th victory of the summer and slide into a tie with the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox for second place in the East Division. 2-2. Breaking ball, high chopper to the right side. Gets through the hole for a base hit. Trevin Escara aboard for the second time tonight, and he picks up a 2-out base knock.
Well, just better ABs being worked by Escara. Pretty much every at-bat he's had so far, he's worked it deep in the count, and another deep count here against Tringali. This time able to force one through the right side and collects his first base hit, reaches base for, as you mentioned, his second time today.
It's now Julio Marcano, who has been a Whitecaps killer this summer, and really everyone else on Cape Cod in his limited action. Marcano came to the Orleans Firebirds as a temporary player the first week of the summer. First pitch. Fastball taken on the outside corner for strike 1. Then was sent home due to a shoulder injury, worked his way back, and was activated by the Birds within the last week. Firebirds 2, Whitecaps 1. 2 away in the top of the 5th. Marcano's been the spark in that Birds lineup. Came back for Orleans as a pinch hitter. Of course, picked up an RBI single. Then was in the 9th spot last night. And look where he's hitting in game 2 of the doubleheader. The 5th hole. 0-1. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. Marcano just gives a look back to the home plate umpire, Ronaldo Cockrum. It's 0-2.
Deservingly the middle lineup guy.
Has been that way this summer for the Birds. 4 RBIs in 7 games. Tringali set at the belt, 0-2 home. Fastball fouled off the mask of Vogt, and the count stays at 0-2. This time, it's not the ball boys diving for the ball behind the plate. The hero of the day, Tanner Murray, goes and tosses it to the Orleans side. No collisions anymore.
Well, we have seen some, not only the ball boys taking a beating, but the catchers as well. Vidia, the home plate umpire, got a couple pitches fouled off them.
Scare with his hands on his knees at first base. Now glances them down. Tringali set third base side. The 0-2 home. Breaking ball drops low. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So for Tringali, he's up to 94 pitches. It's a high number for a Cape Cod Baseball League arm, especially only in the 5th inning. Tringali continues to get that arm deeper. The 1-2. Breaking ball hit on a line. One hop to the third baseman, Tyler Hardman. Bobbles the baseball and everybody's safe. Another hard hit ball by Julio Marcano. He reaches base. And the Birds a little 2-out rally here in the 5th.
Yeah, that was a really hard hit ball. It will go down as an error, but that's unfortunate because that was a tough play for Hardman at third base. I mean, he knocked down as best he could, but just scored it past him back to his left.
So the Brewster Whitecaps will take the ball from Cam Tringali. Gave Brewster a chance in this ball game. Right-hander from South Carolina exits with the Firebirds on top of the Whitecaps, 2-1. But tossed 4 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 3 walks and 8 Ks, responsible for both guys on base. We'll do a short break at Stony Brook Field. Firebirds looking for their 20th win of the season. You're listening to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Stony Brook Field. The Birds on top of the Whitecaps 2-1. And Orleans threatening for more with a 2-out rally. Orleans has 2 on and 2 away, and Tanner Murray the batter. Peyton Alford, the new arm into the ball game for the Brewster Whitecaps, southpaw out of Virginia Tech, making his 11th appearance of the summer. Alford set, first pitch to Murray. Breaking ball, 12-6 curve. Drops in on the outside corner for strike 1. For Alford, he's 0-1 with a .498 ERA. Last pitched a week ago against the YD Red Sox. Through 2 2/3 of scoreless baseball. Grabbed a hit, walked one, and struck out 4. 0-1, home. Fastball shot back up the middle, off the mound, backhanded by the second baseman. Auerbach takes it to the bag, and this side is retired. Orleans able to mount a run here in the 5th inning. Jacob Hurtaby's a leadoff double, took second, and then scampered home on the errant throw by Mason Dodd, as the Birds score 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, and they leave 2 runners left on base. After 4.5 at Stony Brook Field, the Firebirds lead the Whitecaps 2-1. And Thomas, this game has big-time playoff implications, with the Birds already leading the season series 3-1 over the Whitecaps. But if the Birds win today, you'd think Orleans is just another step closer to making the postseason.
Yeah, you definitely would think that they're
Right-hander from James Madison goes back out for the 5th, with the Firebirds on top of the Whitecaps 2-1. First pitch to Mason Dodd. Fastball skied on the left side of the infield. The shortstop Tanner Murray drifting to his right. Third baseman Josh Zamora to his left. It's Zamora who makes the call on the catch, and there's 1 down.
Well, the wind has picked up a lot here since the start of Game 1. And Josh Zamora is circumventing the swirling Cape winds here at third base. Moves a couple of feet at the end of it. He's able to make the catch for the first out.
And now the 8-hole hitter Justin Vogt out of Maryland will dig in from the right side. The catcher 1 for 1 tonight. First pitch from Justin Showalter. Breaking ball bounces low for ball 1. Vogt one of just 3 hits for the Whitecaps in Game 2 of this doubleheader. Well, been one of the better offensive clubs this summer. 1-0. Fastball spots the outside corner. It's 1-1. Firebirds 2, Whitecaps 1. 1 away in the last of the 5th inning. Brewster entered today as the team that scores the 4th most runs per contest. 1-1. Breaking ball skips in low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Brewster averages 4.5 runs per game. They scored 3 in the first game of the doubleheader, but only have 1 in game number 2. Showalter winds and fires 2-1. Breaking ball fools Vogt. He swings over the top of a breaker, and it's 2-2. You can close the line on Cam Tringali. Went 4 2/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 3 walks, and 8 Ks. 2-2 from Showalter. Breaking ball runs inside, plunks Vogt on the left thigh. He'll trot down to first, representing the tying run.
Yeah, caught a little bit of meat there on the thigh at least, but puts Vogt on. And if you're a Tower Vogt, if Showalter had able to get Vogt and then Ellis, then would have been at least nice for that, because this half inning yet to end the half inning on the lower part of the order, and now there's a chance that the top of the order can roll back around.
So Showalter working out of this stretch. That snapped the streak of 8 in a row retired. First pitch, fastball tails outside for ball 1. Showalter hasn't surrendered a hit since the 2nd inning on that single to Vogt. Right-hander from James Madison. His first start of the summer for the Orleans Firebirds. Now it looks like the Whitecaps are going to bring a pinch runner onto first base. They're going to take out Justin Vogt. We'll get a new man to run. Appears to be the middle infielder out of Liberty, Cameron Locklear, who played shortstop in the first game. He'll pinch run for Vogt at first. So it's Locklear on at first base with 1 away in the last of the 5th, with the Birds leading the Whitecaps 2-1. Showalter working out of the stretch. third base side of the rubber. Right-hander from James Madison trying to give the Birds 5 strong innings in Game 2 of this doubleheader. Here's the 1-0. It's going to be held up as Showalter spins and fires to first, and Locklear dives back in. Showalter has experience on the Cape despite making his first start this summer for Orleans. Pitched in 2 games last year for the Birds. 1-0, fastball tails outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. And that start for Showalter lasted 4 2/3 last summer against the Chatham Anglers in a winner go-home game for the Orleans Firebirds. And Showalter gave the Birds a chance. He gave up 3 runs, 2 earned in that contest. Unfortunately for Orleans, they were not able to come out on top. Orleans missed the postseason, but Showalter's back for year number 2 late in the summer.
I remember I stopped by after Harwich's game to check in on the Birds and the Anglers. Big playoff implications in that game last year, as you mentioned.
It was game 43 of the summer before the Anglers ran roughshod through the East Division, just falling shy to the Wareham Gatemen in the finals. 2-0, fastball sent down the left side. It's 2-1.
Don't know if we'll see anything like that as crazy as that this year, but we could see some seeding-wise, I should say. Going down to the last second of the season.
And the Whitecaps and the Mariners battling for that final playoff spot. Just 4 points separate those 2 clubs. 2-1. Fastball sent on a line over the head of Murray into left center field for a base hit. Trinity cuts it off before the warning track. Going first to third is Locklear. Cut off by Murray. Throw into second. Not in time. Duke Ellis hustles for a double as he takes second. And Locklear moves to third. The tying run is 90 feet away. And the go-ahead run in scoring position. And the top of the Whitecaps order coming up.
That's why Duke Ellis, a guy that can hit the ball, and it's out a double out towards left center field. A speedy guy, and that's why he's in the 9 spot for Jimmy Shevchik.
So Justin Showalter, cool, calm, collected. His first appearance of this summer. It'll end right here after 4 1/3. And he'll exit with the Birds on top of the Whitecaps. But Brewster threatening with runners on second and third. And 1 away. Kelly Nicholson will take the ball and make the move to the pen. We'll step aside. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Firebirds on top of the Whitecaps, 2-1 at Stony Brook Field. But Brewster has the tying run 90 feet away and the go-ahead run in scoring position. And Zebulon Vermillion, the new arm into the ball game for the Orleans Firebirds, the right-hander from Arkansas. His 9th appearance on the year. He's 1-0 with a 2.07 ERA. Has tossed 8 2/3 innings. An opponent just batting .257. Last went 3 days ago against the Harwich Mariners and tossed a scoreless inning and 2/3. So Brett Auerbach, the leadoff man tonight for the Brewster Whitecaps, will take his 3rd time around. And Auerbach has scored the lone run tonight for Brewster. He's going to try and drive in another for the Whitecaps. We're looking to tie this ball game up and keep their playoff hopes alive. Infield conceding the run for Orleans with the corners in. First pitch. Breaking ball drops low, blocked by Avidia for ball one.
And when you need an out, you bring in the big gun, Zebulon Vermillion. Guy who's helped the Firebirds in sticky situations like these all year long.
The 6'5", 220-pound right-hander, originally from Prairie Village, Kansas. He's set from the first base side, 1 out. Fastball popped out of play, and it's 1-1.
These are experienced guys at the top of this order for the Whitecaps as well. You talk about Auerbach, All-Star, Jesse Franklin, second year on the Cape, and then Gage Workman, followed by Collette. That's a tough order to go through.
Now, we were having a conversation off air about pitchers' heights. We have a guy who's 6'5" and a batter who's 5'9". 1-1. Fastball hit on a line. Over the head of the second baseman, Marcano, down for a base hit. Locklear's in from third. Ellis hustling around the bag. He trips down. Ellis scampers back to the third base bag. Auerbach moves up to second on the RBI single. Could have been 2, but Ellis fell down. But we're tied at 2-2.
Yeah, scaring the first baseman, tried to cut the ball off to throw a little bit too high over him. Avita able to block the ball because there were 2 opportunities to try to get a player out there. Ellis tripping around third base, but also Auerbach advancing towards second. So if he had got able to get that ball in midair, could have recorded at least an out.
So the Birds catch a break, potentially a 2 RBI hit, turns into just a 1 RBI hit. First pitch to Franklin. Fastball tails outside for ball 1. Brand new ball game at Stony Brook Field. Orleans and Brewster squared at 2. But the Whitecaps have 2 in scoring position with 1 away. Birds infield is in. Their outfield is deep and shifted to right. Vermillion sent the 1 out. Fastball sent out to deep right center field. Kokoska on the run. Hurtubise ranging back. He fields it with his back against the fence. Tagging up from third is Duke Ellis. He'll score without a throw. Scampering 90 feet is Brett Auerbach. And a sacrifice fly off the bat of Jesse Franklin puts the Whitecaps on top 3-2.
Well, that's all he had to do was just elevate a ball out into the outfield grass and let Duke Ellis and the rest of these Whitecaps base runners do their job. Franklin, job accomplished. Whitecaps get a run, and they retake the lead.
So now both runs get charged against Justin Showalter's line. Showalter, you can close the line on him, went 4 1/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned. First pitch to Gage Workman. Fastball smacked back to the screen for strike 1. And there's the cruelty of the game of baseball. Showalter exits with the Birds on top 2-1 and in line for a win. And at the end of the day, he's in line for the loss now after both runs are charged against the right-hander from James Madison. Auerbach 90 feet away, 0-1. Fastball hit hard to the shortstop Murray. Lunges forward, caroms off his left arm, and rolls right behind the second base bag. Auerbach trots in from third. Workman charges down the first base line. An RBI single for Gage Workman, making 3 runs in the inning for the Brewster Whitecaps. They've got a 4-2 lead.
That ball just took a sudden dive at Tanner Murray, so trying to read it, especially where the shadows are right now. He's right in the shadow and trying to read it and dive down for the ball, and it just took a sudden went right down on him.
It's now TJ Collette, who's hit every ball hard today, will get another chance at the plate. He's 0 for 1 with an RBI. First pitch, hard fastball taken on the outside corner for strike 1. Collette a sacrifice fly in the first to the deepest part of the ballpark, then sent another shot to center field. Hurtubise standing in the exact spot where he caught the last 2. Just shifted to the right side of center, right in front of the Whitecaps sign. 0-1. Fastball just misses inside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Firebirds scored a run in the top half of this inning after Jacob Hurtubise manufactured a run to give the Birds a 2-1 lead. But the Whitecaps have responded with 3 of their own in this frame. Vermillion set the 1-1. Breaking ball nubbed up the first base side. It's 1-2. So for the Birds on the offensive end, they'll be down to their final 6 outs with the bottom third of their lineup due up in the 6th inning. Lane's looking to rewrite the script in the latter part of this ball game and sweep the doubleheader. 1-2. Breaking ball hit hard to the first base side, into right field for a base hit. Workman going first to third, fielded by the right fielder Kokoska. His throw will go into second. Another base hit for the Brewster Whitecaps. It's their 4th in the inning. They entered with just 3 hits tonight. Coming into the 5th, they've got 4 in this frame.
And they continue to hit some hard hit balls throughout the game. They're doing most of the game. They were dropped for base hits, and now they're finding all the holes and the plugs throughout this field. And it's resulting in runs and coming across the dish for the Whitecaps.
It's now Tyler Gentry, the 8th man to bat in this inning, will dig in. First pitch, fastball up and in for ball 1. Gentry, quiet so far tonight, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. It's been the part of the lineup that the Firebirds have had their number. 6, 7, and 8, a combined 0 for 6. Everyone else has reached base at least once tonight. 1-0, fastball sent back to the screen. It's 1-1. Now for Brewster, their pitching has been a problem this summer, and some optimism for the Firebirds late in this ball game. The Whitecaps are 8th in earned run average, a .417 number as a staff. 1-1. Fastball taken low. Check swing from Gentry. He laid off. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. So in one regard, the Birds have a chance in that metric. The other thing, too, the Whitecaps give up their fair share of home runs. 4th most on the Cape. They've surrendered 24. 2-1, runner going. Fastball scooped out of the dirt by Avidia. Throw down, skips away from Marcano and into center field. Workman will charge home from third on the throw down from Avidia. The 4th run of the inning for the Whitecaps. They lead 5-2.
Well, it's tough because Avidia's, your guy behind the dish who can hose down runners has a chance, just gets away and scampers into the outfield.
And TJ Collette, the 6-foot, 225 DH, steals his first bag of the summer. 3-1 the count to Gentry, the pitch. Fastball taken up and away, ball 4. So Gentry works a free pass, and now the Whitecaps will bat through their order as the 9th man this inning. Tyler Hardman will dig in.
And just got a little bit away from the Firebirds here in this half inning, just trying to get one more out, get back to the dugout and get the bats warming up as Matt Troop will take a walk out towards Zebulon Vermillion. David Avidia will join him to have a chat.
For Orleans, about an hour 15 shy of sunset in Brewster, Massachusetts. The last time they were here, they had a game that was called due to darkness. If we played 2 really long innings, they might be able to get the same.
Yeah, darkness can always be a factor here in these 5 o'clock games. That's why you saw YD today moving it up 15 minutes to 4:45 first pitch. Now just 2 innings, so they should be able to get it in, but you never know sometimes.
Whitecaps have turned this game on its head. It was 2-1 in favor of Orleans heading in to the last of the 5th, but now the Whitecaps have scored 4 in a row. First pitch to Tyler Hardman, breaking ball ties him up for strike 1.
Hardman a little eager to jump in on the hit parade in this half inning.
Whitecaps have scored 4 runs on 4 hits. And they still got 2 men on first and second. 0-1 to Hardman. Breaking ball drops it in the outside corner. It's 0-2. Now Hardman against the Orleans Firebirds this summer, and he's been one of the better players on Cape Cod. He's 0 for 4 today and 0 for 11 on the summer against the Birds, including his fair share of strikeouts, now at 8. 0-2. Fastball sent down the right field line. Kokoska drifting in foul ground. He'll give chase, and he runs out of room, and we'll do it again. So Hardman lives to see another day. The Cape Cod Baseball League leader in strikeouts. Put the ball in play both of his 2 plate appearances in Game 2 of the doubleheader, but did go down swinging twice in that first game. Gentry aboard at first, Collette off second with 2 down. Vermillion set first base side, the 0-2. Fastball hit hard to the left side, gobbled up by the third baseman Zamora. He'll throw across the diamond. It's high, pulled down by Escara, and in time. So Zamora able to set down the Whitecaps with that play, but not before Brewster scores 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and they leave 2 men left on base. After 5, it's the Whitecaps with a 5-2 lead, and let's send it over to Scotty Gaines.
Hey, thanks, buddy. Gonna do a bit of an update on what's coming next for our time with Bird Bites at the Knack this upcoming week. Sue Horton and Matthew Troop are both going to be hanging out with me, eating lunch at the Knack, sharing milkshakes, burgers, all that good stuff. It's going to be really, really exciting. That's coming in the next couple of days. But tomorrow, most exciting, Max Troiani's Bird Bites will be released on our YouTube page. We've got a fun sneak peek. Again, tomorrow morning you can catch the full edition, the full meal, but here's a short sneak peek.
At the end of the day, it just came down to happiness and opportunity. So where was I going to be the happiest? Because happiness is hard to come by in life. I just wanted to pick, the spot or the place that would make me the happiest moving forward. And obviously that's here over sitting at a desk. My buddy put it the best way. He said, dude, you have 6 more weeks in the Cape and you have 50 plus years to go sit at a desk. So that was a pretty easy decision there. And then opportunity. I'm always going to be able to go back and sit at a desk. It's just a matter of I'm never going to get this opportunity again. So that's why I chose to stay.
Correctly like that up there? Okay. Who cares?
Gotta have your grandma, man. Brewster 5, Orleans 2, top of the 6th at Stony Brook Field. And Shea Whitcomb to lead off the frame for the Firebirds.
Pinch hitter for the Firebirds.
He's going to pinch hit for Dom Keegan, the DH from Vanderbilt. That'll end his day. But Shea Whitcomb has arguably been the Firebirds' best hitter the second half of this summer. Whitcomb digs in from the right side, pinch hit opportunity. First pitch from Peyton Alford. Fastball up and away for ball 1. Brewster 5, Orleans 2. Looks like we're going to have a pair of pinch hitters in this inning with Rob Emery waiting on deck as well. Alford's 1 out of Whitcomb. Fastball shot back to the screen. It's 1-1. Now Whitcomb in that first game of the doubleheader, another 3-hit performance. It's back-to-back nights with 3 hits for Shea Whitcomb, including his 6th home run of the summer. 1-1. Fastball flared it down the left field line. Left fielder Franklin giving chase near the corner. He's ranging near the BP cage. Did he make the catch? Yes, he did. What an impressive play by Jesse Franklin. Stayed right of the inner outline to make the grab, and there's 1 down.
They really chased down that ball towards the BP bubble. Jimmy Quinn taking a glance down there a couple times to see where he made that catch, but I guess you're okay with it.
Couple defensive changes for the Brewster Whitecaps. Cam Locklear, who came in as a pinch runner, will stay in the game at second, and Brett Auerbach shifts behind the plate. So another pinch hitter for the Orleans Firebirds. It's Rob Emery to bat for the first time in Game 2 of the doubleheader. Emery got the nod in Game 1 behind the dish. Went 0 for 1, but drew 2 walks. Emery batting from the right side. First pitch from Peyton Alford. Fastball downstairs for ball 1. Firebirds trail the Whitecaps 5-2 with 1 away in the top of the 6th inning. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball chased out of the zone. It's 1-2. Another 1-1. So Emery trying to find his way on base and give the Birds a chance in this 6th. Orleans down to their final 5 outs. 1-1. Fastball shot on a line into left field for a base hit. Rob Emery off the bench and trots down to first base with a pinch hit single. The Birds a 1-out base runner.
And Kelly Nicholson rolling the dice there. And subbing in Rob Emery pays off here. Collects a base hit.
So now Josh Zamora, the third baseman from Nevada, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Going to try and get on base with Jacob Hurtubise waiting in the on-deck circle. A right-hander starting to warm up in the Brewster bullpen. Got the southpaw Alford on the bump, set to face Zamora. First pitch home. Fastball taken low for ball one. Zamora has hit left-handed pitching very well this summer, with all 3 of his home runs coming off southpaws. Batting more than 130 points higher against lefties than righties. 1-0. Fastball on a line down the left field line. Zamora out in front into the Whitecaps bullpen. It's 1-1.
We hit a hard hit ball last time, just right to center fielder, and Duke Ellis back in the 4th inning. Got some good piece of wood on that ball, just pulled it a tad too early.
So Emery aboard at first after the pinch hit single. Josh Zamora in the 9-hole trying to get on base and bring up the tying run in the form of Jacob Hurtubise. Long stare in from Alford. Now the southpaw from Virginia Tech set at the belt. 1-1. Breaking ball stays upstairs. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Orleans down to their final 5 outs in the second game of this doubleheader at Stony Brook Field. Birds took game 1, 4-3. We're now in jeopardy of splitting the DH at Stony Brook Field. 2-1 lofted into left center field. Center fielder Duke Ellis gliding to his right. He's got room in front of the track. He'll make the grab as Jesse Franklin imitates him out there. But it's Ellis who makes the grab in center, and there's 2 away.
Now batting, the center
That's what it's all about here on Cape Cod.
Army,
Making new friends like Jesse Franklin, Duke Ellis.
Jacob Hurtubise.
It's now Jacob Hurtubise. We'll dig in for the 4th time tonight. Center fielder out of Army has been aboard twice. Walked to lead off this ball game and came around to score. Then doubled in the 5th. He scampered to third on a drop third strike. Zach Kakasku waits on deck and then scored on the errant throw back to the back. First pitch from Alford. Fastball downstairs for ball 1. Hurtubise has scored both of the Firebirds runs in game 2 of the doubleheader, with Orleans trailing 5-2 with 2 down in the top of the 6th. Emery's aboard at first as he extends his lead. The 1-0 home. Fastball downstairs. It's 2 balls and no strikes. So if Hurtubise is able to reach, Zach Kokoska would represent the tying run. Kokoska has shown off the power against right-handers once this summer. Alford's 2-0. Fastball spotted on the outside corner. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Pair of right-handers continuing to toss in the Whitecaps bullpen down the left field line. You'd imagine for Orleans, if they have a lead at some point in this ball game, or can even make it a 1-run contest, we'll see Connor Pellerin. 2-1, fastball sent out to deep left field. Franklin ranging back. His back is towards the fence, lays out, can't make the grab. Rob Emery's on his horse. He'll get the green light around from Jamie Quinn. Jogging to third base is Jacob Hurtubise. It's an RBI triple for Hurtubise. He drives home Emery, and it's just a 5-3 game.
And that was a shot out there towards the left center field. Jesse Franklin couldn't do his best. Duke Ellis' impression there from just the hitter before, but Hurtubise on his horse around second. Smart base swing as well. Sees the throw, misses the cutoff. Workman then halts over on second, then goes once to see it's over. Workman said he's in at third base.
So now Zach Kokoska will bat for the Birds. And Kokoska 1 for 3 today with a single. Orleans down by 2 runs as they trail 5-3 here in the 6th. First pitch. Fastball fouled into the glove of the catcher Auerbach for strike 1. Kokoska 5 RBIs this summer. Number 6 would be a big one and cut this to just a 1-run deficit. Hurtubise on the third base line. Southpaw Auerbach set 0-1. Fastball cut on and missed. It's 0-2. Now Kokoska has struggled with left-handed pitching this summer. Just 2 for 19 against Southpaws. Kelly Nicholson does have a couple options on his bench if he'd elect to go there. Zach Daniels, potential name to go to as a pinch hitter later. 0-2. Fastball downstairs. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. This might be the last batter for Peyton Alford on the bump. Right-handers the rest of the way in the Orleans lineup 1-2. Breaking ball flutters low. Nice stop by Auerbach to keep it in front. It's 2-2. Jamie Shevchik standing on the top step of the Whitecaps dugout, hoping that Brewster can pick up a win in Game 2 of the doubleheader and draw just 2 points shy of Harwich for the final playoff spot in the East. 1-2. Fastball skied a mile high, right behind the plate. Auerbach, the catcher, doesn't know where it is. He's calling for it, makes the catch, almost colliding with Tyler Hardman. It's Auerbach who makes the grab in foul territory, and the side is retired. But not before the Birds get back on the board on the RBI triple by Jacob Hurtubise. Orleans scores 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. We're through 5.5. It's the Firebirds trailing the Whitecaps 5-3. And Thomas, for the final time tonight, will look around the Cape Cod Baseball League as these games start to shape up down the final stretch of the season. This will all be wrapped up regular season-wise within the next 6 days. And the YD Red Sox have blown the doors open at Red Wilson Field. It's 11-5 in favor of YD over Harwich. And the Red Sox offense always so potent, especially in the boom box of the ballpark at Red Wilson Field. Noah Cardenas, a 2 RBI double in the 5th inning, and what was another 5-run frame for the YD Red Sox. RJ Yeager, a sac fly. Bradley Beasley, a 1-run single, and a sac fly off the bat of Jack Thomas Wold has the Red Sox on top of the Mariners 11-5. Falmouth Commodores continue to lead the Bourne Braves. They're up 5-2 in the 5th. And Hyannis and Wareham just getting underway at Spillane Field with no score, as well as Kitsui and Chatham. Potentially the game of the night on the Cape. The 2 of the better teams duking it out at Veterans Field.
And the ball boys going at it once again on a ball to the backstop.
Staying into play catcher for the Firebirds, number 22.
So Orleans trails Brewster 5-3 as we go to the last of the 6th at Stony Brook Field. Zebulon Vermillion will stay in the ball game. He'll come back out for inning number 2. And Rob Emery behind the dish after coming on as a pinch hitter. First pitch to Mason Dodd. Fastball taken outside for ball 1. Dodd 0 for 2 tonight. One of 2 Brewster Whitecaps yet to reach base. It'll be 7, 8, 9 in the inning. 1-0. Breaking ball taken low. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Cam Locklear, who came home as a pinch runner, came around to score. Stayed in the game at second. Waits on deck for his first plate appearance. 2-0. Fastball nips the inside corner. It's 2-1. Firebirds down to their final 3 outs at the dish, trailing by 2 runs. They'll have the heart of their lineup coming up in the top of the 7th. Vermillion winds and fires, 2-1. Breaking ball misses outside. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Firebirds were up 2-0 in this ball game, but the Whitecaps scored 4 runs in the 5th. 3-1 pitch. Fastball spiked low, ball 4. 5-pitch walk to Mason Dodd to lead off the 6th inning.
It was a good, strong showing from the Firebirds the last half inning, able to manufacture across the run. So you want to keep this deficit just at 2. We can give yourself a chance in the 7th. And if you're the Whitecaps, you're going to try to tack on a few more here. And what we saw the Commodores did to the Firebirds a few days back.
So Cam Locklear steps in, squares around, first pitch, fastball. Blown right past the bat for strike 1. Jamie Shevchik and his club playing for an insurance tally late in this ball game. We'll just play 7 in game 2 of this doubleheader. There will be no extras as the Cape has mandated no extra innings the rest of the regular season. Locklear squares, 0-1 bunted foul. It's 0-2. Firebirds trail by 2 runs here in the 6th. And Brewster looking to scratch across another. Dodd aboard at first. Locklear in from the right side. Has whiffed on his first 2 bunt attempts. Couple of righties continuing to get loose in the Whitecaps bullpen. Vermillion set at the belt, the 0-2 home. Breaking ball shot back to the screen. We'll do it again. Orleans has already secured at least a share of the season series with the Brewster Whitecaps. Firebirds lead the overall season series 3-1. 0-2. Fastball sent a mile high into shallow left field. Tanner Murray drifting into the sunlight. He'll make the call. He'll make the catch, and there's one away.
Now batting, the center
So now
fielder
Duke
from
Ellis,
Texas,
who ripped a double
number 4,
back in that 5th inning and
Ellis.
came around to score. He'll dig in once again. That's part of a 4-run 5th for the Brewster Whitecaps. Ellis 1 for 2. Grounded out his first time up. Runner on first with one down. 5-3 Brewster lead. First pitch. Runner going. Now tails back to the bag. Ball drifts outside for ball 1. Again, the Firebirds will have the heart of their lineup. 2 up in the 7th. If Vermillion keeps this at a 2-run game, you got to think the Birds have a good chance. 1-0. Fastball tails outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Justin Showalter went the first 4 1/3. Exited the game with the lead, but he's in line for the loss right now after getting tagged for 4 hits, 3 runs all earned, no walks and 2 Ks. Vermillion, the last inning, has given up 2 runs, 1 earned. 2-0. Fastball spiked low. It's 3 balls and no strikes. A little less than an hour away from sundown here at Stony Brook Field. Does not appear it would be a factor tonight in Brewster. We get darkness problem here. We got a problem. 3-0. Fastball catch the outside corner. It's 3-1.
Houston, we would have a problem.
This is inning number 13 of 14 today in Brewster, Massachusetts. Birds took the first 7. And Stony Brook Field's 4-3, but they trail 5-3 in the second game. 3-1, runner going. Fastball spiked low nonetheless. Another walk in this inning. It's the 3rd for Vermillion tonight. And Brewster has 2 on and 1 out. And now Rob Emery will walk out 60 feet 6 inches and meet Zebulon Vermillion to have a quick chat.
Zebulon just strung a little bit with control tonight with the walks.
5:30 is the first pitch between these teams, the Whitecaps and the Firebirds. At Eldridge Park.
We'll have to see what Kel Nicholson opts to do here. Keep Zebulon in the game or bring in another arm.
Split doubleheader on Tuesday.
So the Birds still with a couple arms to go to that haven't pitched in either game of the doubleheader. Nick Garcia, Dawson McCarville, and Connor Pellerin. All 3 of those guys have yet to heard their name called for the Birds in the doubleheader and didn't pitch last night either.
Number 29, Brett Auerbach.
Brett Auerbach, who started this game at second, shifted to catcher, will bat for the 4th time. Leadoff man is 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Vermillion set, first pitch up. Auerbach shows bunt, pulls it back on the chin music, up and in for ball 1. Vermillion looking to get the Birds to the 7th, just trailing by 2, and give the heart of the lineup a chance to tie this game up and salvage a point. Vermillion set, runner dancing off second, Auerbach squares, 1-0, pulls back, fastball on the inside corner, it's 1-1. Firebirds have the middle back for 2. The corners are even with the back. Third baseman Josh Zamora now creeping just in on the grass. It's Ellis on at first, Dodd off of second. Dodd extends his lead, the 1-1. Auerbach sends this one into right field. Kokoska giving chase down the right field line. Kokoska makes the catch in stride, going into the Firebirds bullpen. Both runners advance 90 feet on the productive out off the bat of Brett Auerbach.
Yeah, it's one of those tough plays because you have to make the catch, but you know the runner's going to tag up because you're all the way down in the right field corner. And now with a base hit, 2 more Whitecaps can come to score here unless Zebulon can thwart the effort.
And it's Jesse Franklin who already has a base hit tonight. Had a single back in the first, a sac fly in the 5th. 2 runners in scoring position with 2 down in the last of the 6th. The Whitecaps on top of the Firebirds 5-3. Vermillion set. First pitch to Franklin. Fastball sent down the right field line. But he's out in front for strike 1. looks like Franklin broke his bet. He walks into the third base dugout, doesn't get a new bat from the bat boy. Instead goes all the way to the opposite end of the dugout, looking for the new lumber, pulls out the new stick. He'll walk out, and when I mean new lumber, this is a new bat. Just ripped plastic off of it.
I did see that. Ripped it out of the plastic wrapping. Put a little pine tar on it. Marking as his own, and he's coming out with it.
So he will take his first licks with his new bat, and the Brewster Whitecaps faithful give him a round of applause.
It's a good-looking bat, too.
Nice cool tan gradient going from the barrel to the top with black on the bottom half. Runners on second and third, 0-1. Breaking ball drifts outside. It's 1-1. Now, Franklin, you'd imagine, is probably one of the fan favorites around the Stony Brook Park area. Second-year Brewster Whitecap, who hit above the 300 mark last summer. Not the same way in year number 2, hovering around the 250 spot. 1-1. Breaker bounces downstairs. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Our consensus freshman All-American 2 years ago at Michigan helped the Wolverines reach the College World Series this past spring. Fell 1 game shy from claiming their first national championship in quite some time. 2-1. Fastball grounded to the first base side, right to the Firebirds dugout. And right near Kelly Nicholson. It's 2-2.
We saw the one by Duke Ellis early in this ball game almost take off a couple heads on the Whitecaps. Third base dugout. This one pulled into theirs.
Long stare in from Zebulon Vermillion. He's got Duke Ellis aboard at second. Mason Dodd 90 feet away. But the Birds down by 2. 2-2. Fastball sent on the line into right field for a base hit. Dodd's in from third. Right behind him is Duke Ellis. The throw cut off. It's a 2-run single by Jesse Franklin. The new bat has hits in it as well. And it's a 7-3 Whitecap lead here in the 6th.
Yeah, got a base hit for him with that new bat. Drives in 2 runs as well. 2 big insurance runs. Now really opens it up once again. So the 1 run on the top of that half of this inning. That means something, but now it's a 4-run deficit, even larger than what it was coming into this top half of the 6th.
So that might be enough to put this game out of reach. And Brewster's still looking for more as Gage Workman, the shortstop, to bat. First pitch. Fastball tails outside for ball 1. Workman an RBI single his last time up before coming around to score. A 4-run 5th and now a 2-run 6th for the Whitecaps. Has them out in front 7-3 over the Firebirds. 1 out. Fastball pops out of play down the left side. It's 1-1. Now normally you see kids sport their own school's colors. For Workman it'd be the maroon and gold. For Zebulon Vermillion, similar kind of red color, red and white. But Workman, he's got blue and black cleats. More of the Brewster Whitecap look. 1-1. Breaking ball drops on the inside corner. It's 1-2.
Oh, looks like Duke Blue Devil. Kind of blue and black.
Those types of shades. And Workman trying to give the Whitecaps another tally in this inning. Already scored 6 of the last 7 runs here. 1-2. Breaking ball bounces low. It's 2-2. Sun starting to set here at Stony Brook Field. It's gone down behind the trees on the third base side. Franklin aboard at first after the 2-run single. Vermillion set first base side of the rubber. Here's the 2-2. Franklin running. Breaking ball corked deep right field. This ball drifting in foul ground. Kokoska gives it a look. It runs out of play. We'll do it again. So Franklin will have to trot back to first base. Workman got all of that ball just out in front. Again for Orleans in the top of the 7th. It'll be the heart of their lineup. Max Strani, Trevin Esquera, and Julio Marcano. Franklin with his hands on his knees at first base. Esquera holding him on. Long stare in from Zebulon Vermillion, who now comes set. 2-2 home. Breaking ball flared into shallow left field. Left fielder Trani coming in. He comes in on a hard sprint. He'll make the catch. And the side is retired. But not before the Brewster Whitecaps tack on 2 more runs. Brewster scores 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors. They leave 1 runner left on base. Peyton Alford will look to lock this ball game up for the Brewster Whitecaps. They're on top of the Firebirds 7-3 through the first 6. And let's send it over to Scotty Gaines. Scotty.
Hey, thanks, buddy. Yeah, we mentioned it in the first game, but kind of a different side of things. We mentioned how we've been to Land Ho and did the lunches with Kelly, lunches with the Birds, which we've talked about so much and really enjoy doing because it really is such a cool thing that we've gotten to do and that the town of Orleans has really gotten to experience. And my favorite one was actually, I'd say, at the Land Ho because, you know, it's John Murphy Jr., who actually was at the game tonight. I saw him about an hour ago. I don't know if he's still here or not. But, you know, he just set up a special place for us in the back bar. There was people that were eating lunch and heard that we were doing it in the back, and they picked up their plates, walked back, ate lunch, and listened to our lunches with Kelly and all that. And it was really fun. And then also, you know, kids from the Firebirds clinic camp, people from the town of Orleans came from all over, and they just joined us in. So it was a really, really cool, unique, really intimate setting to do the lunch with Kelly again at the Land Ho, which, as we love to say, that day was a ho-ho of a home run. But, yeah, it really was fun. And, you know, when we went after the All-Star game, all of us, we went and ate at the Land Ho that night. That was special. I got the double entree. I know our guy Bryce was rocking the lemonade, too, with me. That was kind of the storyline of the night. 2 out of 3 lemonades you get from there will be fantastic. The other one a little watered down. But in all seriousness, Land Ho, it's a fun place, you know, owned and operated by the Murphy family for over 50-plus years. That place just bleeds the town of Orleans. You know, it's just been a part of it for so long, and it's just so special, so really, really cool. And, yeah, just fun place to be, guys.
So Peyton Alford, the southpaw out of Virginia Tech, looking for his first win on Cape Cod. First pitch to Max Trani, shot through the left side for a base hit. Trani wastes no time. He has his first hit in his last 12 at-bats, and the Birds a leadoff base runner here in the 7th.
Well, you knew it had a matter of time before Trani would get a base hit. Breaks out of the slump, the funk that way he was in, and big base runner over at first base. Now get the leadoff guy on. Your odds go up with our runner scoring in this half inning.
Alford entered into this ball game in the 5th inning. Tringali went the first 4 2/3 and exited with the Whitecaps trailing the Firebirds, but Brewster has scored 6 runs in the last 2 frames. First pitch to Trevin Esquera. Fastball sent into shallow center field. Now Ellis creeping in. He's camped under it, makes the grab just 1 step back for the first out of the 7th. Orleans down to their final 2 outs, and Julio Marcano, the second baseman from NJIT, will bat. Marcano 0 for 2. An RBI walk, reached on an error as well. Marcano has reached base in 6 straight games, but in jeopardy of his 5-game hit streak to come to a close. Trani aboard at first with 1 down in the top of the 7th. First pitch, fastball popped back foul for strike 1. It's Brewster 7, Orleans 3. Firebirds down to their final 2 outs. Orleans has scored 3 runs on 7 hits. 1 error, and they've left 9 men left on base. 0-1. Fastball taken on the inside corner. It's 0-2. For the Whitecaps, they've scored 7 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors. They've left 6 runners on the base paths tonight. Trani aboard at first with 1 away. Marcano behind in the count, 0-2. Here's the pitch from Alford. Breaking ball drops in just inside. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Good looping curveball from Alford that he showcased this evening. That one just drifted a touch too far in. Marcano looking to just pass the baton to the next Orleans Firebird. 1-2. Off-speed pitch downstairs. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Seeing the Firebirds work their fair share of walks tonight. 3 walks for Orleans, all came back in the 1st inning. Running a close lead over at first base, 2-2 home. Breaking ball popped up down the right side. First baseman Dodd gives chase. It's out of play, and we'll do it again. If Brewster holds on, this would be a split of a doubleheader at Stony Brook Field. Would bump the Whitecaps just 2 points shy of the fourth and final playoff spot in the East. Here's the 2-2. Fastball skied back and out of play. We'll do it again. So Marcano battling against Alford, living to see another day. Tanner Murray, the shortstop from UC Davis, waits on deck if he would get the opportunity at the plate. 2-2. Fastball hit hard to the shortstop. Gage Workman down to an knee, flips to second, throw on to first, not in time. So a tailor-made double play. The turn too slow by Cam Locklear as Marcano beats it out. But the Birds are down to their final out of the night.
A hard hit ball by Marcano. It's been the MO for him tonight, unfortunately. Just right at the shortstop, Gage Workman.
It's now Tanner Murray. Last hope for the Firebirds, trailing 7-3 in this seventh inning. Shortstop from UC Davis, 1 for 3 in the second game of the doubleheader. Alford set. First pitch home. Breaking ball fisted out of play for strike one. Firebirds jumps out to a 1-0 lead in this ball game, thanks to an RBI walk by Julio Marcano. Brewster answered with one of their own on a sac fly by TJ Collette in the first. Before the Birds took the lead in the top of the fifth, but it's been all Brewster since. 0-1. Breaking ball fools Murray. Hit off the right hand of Brett Auerbach. And Auerbach writhing in pain behind the plate. So Orleans down to their final strike at Stony Brook Field. Brewster 7, Orleans 3. 2 outs in the top of the seventh inning. Catcher Auerbach a deep breath behind home plate. Taking one off the bare right hand. So Tanner Murray looking to extend this ball game. Orleans down to their final strike. 0-2. Fastball shot into right center field. Duke Ellis, the center fielder on the run, makes the grab in stride, and the ball game is over. Tanner Murray gave it a ride, but Ellis showcases the wheels as Brewster bounces back with a 7-3 win in Game 2 of the doubleheader. And the Birds and the Caps split a doubleheader at Stony Brook Field, and they'll be back at it to decide the season series tomorrow at Eldridge Park.
Yeah, just a tough game for the Firebirds, a game in which they were in it for the long haul in this ball game after taking a 2-1 lead. Unfortunately for them, the Whitecaps come back with 4 of their own in that same fifth inning before the Fibers showed some life at the top of the sixth, but then Whitecaps come with 2 of their own in the sixth and really put things out of reach. And when you have to score 4 runs in a half inning to tie, it's tough to do so. So final score for the Whitecaps, in this ball game, 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Fibers, 7 runs on 8 hits and 2 errors for the Whitecaps. Again, they'll meet tomorrow at 5:30 at Eldridge Park. First pitch early start tomorrow. Pregame show starts at 5:15 p.m. Stay tuned for our Bird's Eye View postgame show here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Scotty Gaines will be alongside Jacob Hurtubise here. And then Justin Showalter will come on here on the broadcast as well in just a few seconds. As the Firebirds split this doubleheader in Brewster. Watch that. If you ask Kelly Nicholson at the end of the day, well, you got 2 points today. That's all that matters. And splitting it's not bad either. Which keeps you at the same position. You win a ball game. Especially with Harwich getting trounced on by Yarmouth Dennis. That always helps as well. And then tomorrow's going to be a decisive game if the Firebirds can win this little mini series. This 3 games in 2 day stretch. Almost a series. As Scotty Gaines has found Jacob Hurtubise. So, Scotty, we'll send it over to you.
Thomas, thanks, buddy. Here with the Birds, baller of the game, our guy, Mr. Jacob Hurtubise. All right, I'm going to tell it to you. 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored, an RBI, a double, and a triple. That's fantastic, man. Tell me about that. That's fantastic.
The last couple of days, I've just been trying to keep short with my approach. I kind of struggled early in the season, I thought, personally. So just really trying to feel my swing here towards the end of the season, get the birds hot, hopefully go into the postseason.
Hey, I know that your family's here too and watching you. Everybody knows your dad's here. He's one of the biggest yellers out here, which is so fun. How cool is it to show out in front of them?
Oh, it's awesome. He's always been one of my biggest fans. At every game, he's always the loudest one in the park. Maybe not with the big bird that we have at Orleans, but it's awesome having them here just to support and cheer me on.
Hey, when I read it off, you got a triple, a double, you scored twice today, you hit a guy in for all 3 runs in game 2. What was your favorite part about today, if you can pinpoint one thing?
I'd just say running the bases. That's one of my favorite things. Obviously, being pretty quick, making the defense work. And scoring runs. I mean, that's what my job is. Score runs, help the team win.
Hey, it looks like that to me, that you just love running the bases. You always kind of have a bit of a smirk when you're running around. What's that feel like when you're just going all over the place and it seems like you can't be stopped?
It's good because I know that the other team is panicking just a little bit, knowing they have to rush with their throws, with their fielding. So it's fun running the bases.
Hey, well, it's fun to watch. Congratulations to you, man. Great game. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yep, Thomas will send it back to you, man. What a game he had. It's very, very special. Again, 2 for 3, a double, a triple, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. Jacob Hurtubise, good enough for the Birds, caller of the game.
And thank you, Scott. Now alongside Justin Showalter. Justin, you were outstanding today. Your first year return to Cape Cod. Obviously, you pitched here last summer for a bit. Make your comeback. How'd it feel to go out there on the mound today? Face this Brewster Whitecaps team.
Yeah, it's always exciting coming up here to the Cape, getting to play against some of the best players in the country. So it was really just a blessing to get out there and get to give it my all and compete with these guys at such a high caliber.
Well, you competed for sure today. 4 1/3 innings, allowed 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 2 punch-outs, but also no walks as well. How good is it as a pitcher, you throw out over 4 innings and not allow a walk?
Yeah, that's big for us at JMU is our strikeout to walk ratio. We don't want to be giving guys free bases. We want to make them beat us with our best stuff, so that's what I go out there and try to do.
And this is a tough lineup as well. Going through guys like Brett Auerbach, Jesse Franklin, Gage Workman. You got a couple big boppers in there, and then also guys like Duke Ellis who take a couple pitches. What's the plan going in to start like that when you got a couple guys, they flex the power in both games today?
I don't treat them any different than any other guy. I trust my stuff. I pitch them the same way I would throw against any other guy because I believe in my own pitches and that they'll be able to be enough against any hitter I'll compete against.
And you saw a little bit last year. You came in late in this season. You come here late in this season as well. Kind of a playoff push. How fun is it to be out there on the mound in a playoff type of atmosphere?
Yeah, it's super exciting. Obviously, playoffs is the best time of the year. Getting to come in at such a crucial time in the season, all the games matter, and it makes every game a lot of fun.
Well, sounds good. It was fun to watch you out there on the hill today, and we look forward to seeing the rest of the season. Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.
Again, that was Justin Showalter, a right-handed pitcher out of James Madison, who took the hill today for the Orleans Firebirds. The Firebirds unfortunately fall to the Brewster Whitecaps today. Again, final score 7-3, 3 runs on 7 hits, 1 error. Whitecaps 7 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors. Just a quick recap of this ball game. The Firebirds strike for 1 run in the first after a walk. Julio Marcano Hurtubise comes in to score. A couple walks issued in that first inning by Tringali, but then TJ Gletzak flying the first inning, ties it up at 1. Head to the 5th inning now after a couple scoreless innings in that 5th inning. It was an RBI, and Hurtubise come around to score once again. He finished with 2 runs in this ball game. Came around to score, but unfortunately 4 runs in the 5th inning blew up the game. A couple RBIs from Auerbach, sacrifice fly from Jesse Franklin, and a Gage Workman 2 RBI single did the damage to the Firebirds before top of the 6th inning. Jacob Hurtubise RBI triple that scores Rob Emery, who pinch hit for Avita in that inning before the Whitecaps put 2 more in the bottom of the 6th inning. Single by Franklin would finish the game off. So again, Firebirds full. The Whitecaps 7-3. They split the doubleheader here in Brewster. We'll be back at Eldridge Park tomorrow at 5:30. First pitch pregame show starts at 5:15. So that'll do from us here